am I not doing correctly?
I have no idea what magic you're not doing correctly. How could I know?
Hi.
Magic time.
It's Friday.
Talking about OBS not working.
Wow.
We're talking in the green room.
Well, I'm talking in the green room. I have a button for that now, but it wasn't on. I thought I'd bring us up live. The screen's actually broken. I just realized that. I'll have to fix that later. Probably you wouldn't have even noticed anything was broken about this screen unless I said something. You might be looking at it now wondering.
Is it off by a pixel?
No, it's actually one of the filters is hilariously broken and one of the effects is just not happening. That's actually pretty important for the opener. So for my sake, if you watch other videos of this, you might notice, but you're not going to do that. I'm not going to let you. Hi, everybody. It's me. It's Thades and Fraggy and Quinn. And today we have a public service announcement, a very important public service announcement I'm happy to bring to all of you. Because Quinn had a fight with OBS earlier in the week, or maybe it was yesterday, was it? It was not that long ago. And I had the battle of my life figuring out how to wrangle control of this mixer. And it wasn't the mixer's fault, and it wasn't OBS's fault. Okay, in part it's the mixer's fault, but the mixer's getting updates all the time. They're working on it as best they can. But the one thing that is not getting the updates it needs and never will is Windows. Windows has done us all dirty. And so we're going to talk about what Windows has done to us in the background here so you can understand. I've been trying to think about how to explain this because it's very unintuitive. But I think establishing how it is intuitive will help. The three of us here and many of you in chat, we are broadcasters. We use our computers as production systems. They're no longer single user entertainment things for watching the YouTubes or playing a video game for one person. We need to have multiple audio streams and manage multiple concurrent video streams and encode them all to ship to you and also monitor them in our earballs. And Windows can do that, but it wants to fight you because it believes in its heart of hearts that you are just a single user that wants to use the computer for yourself. That's where the lie comes in. And so sometimes I think this has happened to a number of you. I know it's happened to Quinn. It's happened to Fraggy. It hasn't happened to me in a long time. And the reasons are because I have a lot of audio devices. And so Windows gave up trying to automatically guess what the right one was to a degree. But those of you who have a more reasonable number of audio devices, one, maybe two, Windows wants to fight you. And that fight will come up. You'll have your thing. I plugged in my headphones. OBS came up and it's on default. It's not on my headphones. It doesn't work. Why does it do that? And I can't even pick it. How does it happen? It's because I'll just here. Let's do this thing where we go here.
I got my notepad too, by the way. I'm so ready. Me too.
All right,
you got your notepad ready? Hell yeah.
Notepad. So I'm going to go into sound settings. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Sound settings is our favorite place to go. And let's when you I'll just show you the setting, and from there it'll explain all the things. What happens is you have your devices here, and most of you probably have you have speakers and headphones. Those are the two jacks on your computer, one out the out, one in the in. And that's from your motherboard. Your motherboard has a sound card built into it. All modern systems do for the past, I think 10 or 14 years, something like that. We've all had them built in, right? And then you may have a lot of us will have our monitors might have a device, right? And they're technically, even if they don't have an actual sound capability, their drivers do. And so that gets installed in here. You probably turn that off. That's a good thing to do. And then, Steam at some point decided to have its own devices here, which I don't know why Steam did that, but you'll have multiple devices in here, but the only two that matter are the ones up top. And then you'll plug in your special microphone for streaming. And Windows is going to say, oh, this is your communications device. I'm going to make this your important device. And then it does something really insidious. Every single thing has this set by default. Let's go into, it doesn't really matter which one it is. We'll go on this one. Go into properties, and under properties on this device, does this device want to do it? Oh, because it's disabled. Let's pick an enabled device, properties, and I click over to advanced. And you see this right here? Maybe you can't see if you're on your phone right now, but this says exclusive mode. Allow applications.
I'm listening to my daughter screech.
Oh.
I'm sure she's fine.
Okay. Allow applications to take exclusive control of this device. This is actually checked by default for any device that you plug in. And if you don't know to come in here and turn this off, and I had actually forgotten when I plugged the mixer in. Because I plugged this mixer in, and all 6 of the devices it added were allowed. Windows said anything can control these exclusively. Now, sometimes there's a kind of a workaround for this, and this is what Windows thinks it's doing to help you. If you plug in a new pair of headphones, you're the only user on the computer. You're not trying to do any weird broadcast shit or split signals anywhere. You just have one thing you want sound, and everything else shouldn't make it. It will just change the default device, and anything in the system can always access the default device because Windows can exercise exclusive control over a thing and share it. But anything else that grabs it, for instance, your browser, or sometimes Windows when it's confused, or any other application might say, oh, I have a handle to this and I'm done with it. But Windows doesn't recognize it's done, and then it has to change the device. And then OBS comes on and says, I want my thing. And Windows says, sorry, something else has exclusive control of it. You can't. And then OBS is buried. It can't do anything that respects the rules. So you need to come in and tell Windows, for every one of your devices, that it's fine if they share. And that's it.
So it should be checked.
It should not be checked. You want these unchecked.
Oh, should not be checked.
You want these unchecked everywhere. Yeah.
Dad, when you say all of the devices, do you mean like
do your playback and recording devices, both of these tabs? Literally anything in here you don't need to have exclusive. Nothing should have exclusive control of these things in your system. You have a production system, you know better. And so like OBS is going to help you arrange this stuff and deal with problems for you that you don't have to worry about it. Windows doesn't need to protect you. So
I think that was I think actually I switched over to, and if y'all don't use it, and you wanted like a good closed caption, I just put a new closed caption thing on my stream that's actually like pretty accurate and pretty bomb. But it goes through like a browser source. It goes through a Windows, and I actually think me and Kate actually came in and fixed it at some point because something Windows was doing had like fucked the connection between like my microphone and the browser picking it up. And I don't remember how she fixed it, but I know it was a Windows issue. And now hearing you talk about Windows being stinky, it just like solidifies it.
Yep. Under my microphone, I can also say something to have exclusive control of it, and that's a default thing. And so, you know, if you are on your computer and you're just a regular old boomer who doesn't know what they're doing, okay, and you start up Zoom or Microsoft TeamSpeak or whatever to go into your TeamSpeak Teams to go in, it may as well be TeamSpeak, they're equally crappy, and you go in to have your meeting, you don't want something else hijacking the microphone during that meeting because then you'll be interrupted during your meeting. That's how it's designed. It doesn't want you to be interrupted during your Teams meeting or whatever. Now, of course, right now, my microphone doesn't have exclusive control. My microphone is actually this mixer, which is going into the system, and, you know, anything that wants to subscribe to it to listen can do that. You know, it only has one input anyway, and it's trying to protect something it doesn't have to protect. So turn it off. Turn it all off.
Oh, dang. I'm looking through all my stuff, and all of them are checked. I have like so many things to go unchecked.
Well, I mean, so if they're also, some of them you may not even use at all. Like another thing you can do is disable these devices if they never get used. I mean, for instance, I was talking about my my digital audio HDMI. This is my monitor. These are my monitors. My monitors don't have speakers. They could. You can buy monitors with speakers built into them. And the drivers will send sound to them. You'll get crappy sound out of them if you really wanted to. But I don't need Windows at some point deciding, you know, if especially with the GoXLR, because the GoXLR was a USB powered device that was my sound system. And so the system would come up, and sometimes the USB bus wouldn't be warmed up enough, and the GoXLR would still be starting up, and Windows wants a sound device. And so it wouldn't see the GoXLR yet. And until GoXLR updated something in their own drivers to like interrupt Windows and say, no, just we're fine. We have control. Don't worry, Windows. Calm down. Windows would be like, oh, I guess I'll make this arbitrary fucking other device on your system that doesn't actually have a speaker plugged in your default sound device because the GoXLR is not fired up or whatever. I don't see a sound device and you need sound. I'm going to pick whatever one in here makes sense. That used to make sense until they decided to have monitors have fucking things, and then like NVIDIA will also install. Like they aren't here because I stopped installing them. I do custom installs. But if you just do the regular old, I'm going to update my NVIDIA drivers, you'll have devices in here that have NVIDIA like labels on them for their HD audio shit or whatever, which I don't use. I just turn it off. So disable them. Right click, go to disable if you don't use them. And then you should see only things you recognize.
Look different than yours. I probably have a different version of Windows.
Did you update to 11?
I think this machine came with 11.
Did you update to 11, Dad?
No, fuck no.
Okay, I hate it. I was saying I didn't update to 11 either.
No. No way. They're pushing it
no.
so hard. There's no way it's a good idea. I'm
No.
just gonna wait for other people to get it and be like, "Oh my god, it's so annoying. I hate Windows. I'm going to Mac." And then Microsoft will be like, "No way!" And they'll strip all the crap out, and 12 will be better. I'll just wait for 12. That's fine.
What is? You also have like the little pluggy looking ones, Dad. Like it looks like they have like gray and red plugs.
Where is it?
Mine's in my playback.
In playback. So which one? The white at the very bottom here. These ones.
No, not those. They look like I can like see a little
These. This
screenshot.
one.
They're like hardware? Question mark. Go. Those. Yeah, that one. I have like 5 of those. Like actually, no. I have like what are those? Because none of them are doing the green thing, but all of them are named different things. What
are their names?
What are those? One of them is aux1, aux2, browser, chat, game. One of them says do not use on its own. Did not give it that. One of them says music. One of them says system.
Is that voice meter stuff? I mean, those could be. I mean, the only thing I can think of are virtual cables, but they literally are called VB. I mean, the fact that something's in there that says "don't use" tells me that maybe Kate did something. Right? Because like that's not a thing that no one's gonna ship a driver that says "don't use" on it.
I think whenever I got this microphone, it started doing that. Whenever I plugged this microphone in to do stuff, it had all of these like little like gray and red cable things.
Oh, it could be. So wait, what microphone do you have?
Beacon.
The Beacon. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Beacon Audio, they kind of want you to buy their whole suite because they're trying to compete with the people who left GoXLR to try to go on their own. And they want you to buy their GoXLR competitor, which I wouldn't recommend, frankly. And probably that's the software. Basically, no matter what Beacon product you buy, I'm just guessing, but it's like, what else could it be? You're going to install their software kit, which will, give you the drivers for the microphone and also the drivers for their Beacon, GoXLR fader thing. Like, so you don't have, it has the Beacon, I forget what it's actually called. Let's go find it together. Hang on. Beacon mixer or some shit. Here it is. So the Mix Create audio mixer. Mix Create. This thing right here. Mix Create, which is really close to Miscreant. That's not a really good name, Beacon. But like it has all of those channels you're describing on it. And so like you could like do the same thing I did with GoXLR, the same thing I'm doing with the mixer, and you can route different audio to different channels and keep them separated. Like the thing, a lot of people wanted to update to OBS 28 because they can like use application capture to separate their game audio from other things, so it's a separate stream. Yeah. Right, and it helps with recording or changing the volume independently or letting OBS control it. GoXLR solved that problem a couple of years ago for money. Beacon's trying to solve the same problem. This mixer solves that problem for me. That I have everything on separate channels. But that's what it's trying to. All those things are trying to solve the same problem. It's like, how do I adjust the music and the game and my Discord and my microphone are all in the same system. They're all going to the same place, but I want to adjust their volume independently without having to go into like Windows Mixer and drag things in the little box. That's what these are for. So that's like, I mean, the whole thing where I'm trying to separate things into virtual channels and stuff. Like GoXLR has, when you install GoXLR, it gives you a bunch of virtual devices that map to hardware in the GoXLR, and each of them literally were called GoXLR chat, GoXLR main, GoXLR mic, GoXLR music, and then you could pick those devices in. You could go into Windows settings right here, which I still have open here, and down under like where you can like route the different applications to different actual literal hardware. You set it in here basically. And I'm doing the same thing with my with the Rode. And so like I have the Stream Deck going to the secondary channel, and so all the sound goes on that rail, and the browsers all go on that rail, and so I control that sound independently from like game audio and system audio, which I usually want way quieter. I don't want Windows making noises, or like, usually the games have harsher, like, coins dropping, guns going off. I have that way lower than everything else. So separating that's the problem. All these things are trying to solve. That's what those devices are. Probably, I think they're part of the beacon kit. The one that says "do not use" that's a little weird, but
I thought the same thing. I'm like, what happens if I use it? But also, if I drop,
explode.
yeah,
it probably just
if
wouldn't.
I drop down my little like thing as well, it's part of it. Like, like before that step, it's all there. And I'm like, I don't want to click that accidentally.
I mean, it's not going to break anything. It just means nothing will happen. It's going to send audio to that device. I mean, the worst that'll happen is Windows might. I guess the worst that could happen is if they wrote it really bad, Windows could blue screen because it'll do a seg fault trying to access stuff it can't. Or it'll crash. It'll crash the sound feed or Explorer, and you'll have to restart either way. Those are the actual worst case if they did it badly. The probable case is that it's just not going to make any sound. Because it's going to send sound to a null device. It's going to ignore it.
But are those part of the things that we can just disable? Like they're not doing anything?
They're not doing anything. Yeah, very likely you can disable those. I mean, you want to make sure because one of those is going to be your microphone probably. Because if the beacon software is all operating it, like you can actually see that if you're talking into your microphone and looking in your settings, you'll see the little green bar bouncing for that device and under recording if it's actually the one that's being used.
Oh, okay. I was going to say actually, my beacon microphone is like, I just realized this, hitting so low. Like whenever I talk, the microphone in the recording play settings is hitting a 1 or a 2.
Oh, that's fine. Windows doesn't have to know.
Oh, okay.
Windows it does what it can.
Okay, the Windows can, yeah.
Windows is doing what it can.
It's trying its best.
Well, I don't know if it's trying its best.
Why is the capture card back? Get out of here.
And there it is. You're welcome, everybody. Turn off exclusive control of your audio devices if you're a streamer. You don't want that shit on.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go through and disable everything. Like there's so many things. There's so many things here that like are grayed out and like I don't even know what they do. They're not
do them one at a time and make sure you can still hear the stream and Discord and stuff as you turn stuff off.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think the only things I see actually doing like the little green jumping is my microphone and my headphones, and like everything else is just like gray or not doing anything.
Well, do you ever not use headphones? Do you have a second pair of headphones? Do you have speakers?
I only use headphones.
Only your headphones. Okay, yeah. Then you can disable any devices that you don't recognize. Probably.
That's so wild. There's so many extra things there.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want my audio to not double and also hear my alerts.
Oh, the double stuff. Right. Okay. So this is actually, I don't know if this, to be fair, this may not be the problem you were having specifically, but this is so common that it is like, it's the first place. If you went to the OBS Discord and said exactly what you just said, they're going to walk you through what I'm going to do here. So browse any source that produces audio that's controlled entirely by OBS. You will not hear it with the rest of the production. You set up your browser sources, you play a movie or whatever, you're not going to hear the audio. You play a sound effect, you're not going to hear it. And a lot of people who are new to OBS, they fire it up, they're like, why can't I hear it? And you'll record it and you'll hear it, and either you'll be like, oh, I guess that's fine, but I want to hear it, or you'll still be very confused. Like, why is that happening? I guess the punchline is I don't actually understand the technicalities as to why this has to be the case. Like, why is it that we can hear stuff produced on the system outside of OBS and that does not get duplicated when it goes through? But if something is in OBS, it will be duplicated. And there may or may not be a delay. A lot of folks, what they will do is they will go, let's go on another adventure. Hang on. Go here, and then we're going to turn on the other monitor so we can be in OBS town. Here's my OBS. Don't be scared. We're not doing scenes. Okay. And we're going to go into, where's the easiest way to do this? All right, let's just pop over to like actually, I don't have any browser sources for alerts anymore. I think I have, hang on, I know what I have.
Wait, how? Wait.
All of my alerts are from StreamerBot. They're all manually controlled here.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I use StreamerBot. Okay. And I get, I basically subscribe to the Twitch feed with the StreamerBot, and that handles all that shit now. So I don't have to. The only things I have from Stream Elements are the emoji bomb things, and that's it. Actually, that's it. I think even the donation stuff I have wired through StreamerBot finally. So the one thing I can't do is the emojis like floating around. That's all Stream Elements doing that for me.
Oh, there's 2 cats. There's
There
double
are 2
cat. Do y'all
cats.
see double cat?
Oh,
That's
Reggie's
I
cats.
the one that's
spy.
been staring at the damn wall for.
Where's Buddy?
He's still staring at the wall.
I love him.
He's not bright.
He's his own. He's got his own little business.
He's very special.
Yeah, there was a lot going on with that wall.
He
for
knocked
sure,
that
for sure.
thing down just so he could lay on it.
It's a very interesting wall.
That's how it works. It's his domain. He's got to like, make sure he
They
has
can
somewhere
see
comfy to
things we
sit.
can't.
Well, it's,
That's the wall that everybody wants to come down so that they can fit a treadmill back here.
I mean, it makes sense.
No, it does not. That wall is to a bathroom. The bathroom makes sense.
Wait, what?
I don't want to hear anything about how I have 2 bathrooms. I don't want to hear it. We need 2 bathrooms. There are 4 people in this house.
Yeah, 2 bathrooms for the win.
We have 2 bathroom times in our house, and I'm so grateful.
The cats.
He's updating his
Stop
firmware.
How do I get my cats to update their firmware? I feel like that'd be helpful.
No,
He's been updating his firmware for a damn week and a half.
Porums is fully
wall.
updated, and I love her for it. She is perfect.
Oh
the
my
way
god,
she is.
he is literally. Look at him. Look at him. He is just staring intently at the wall back there.
Wait, I have a genuine question.
Okay.
He's not like I feel like this would be absolutely wild, but like do you think he senses anything? Like
No.
a creature in the wall? Like
I think
that would
might
be
the
my
case.
thought.
Oh, maybe there's a mouse in
Am
there.
I-
Could be a mouse here.
Yeah, that's kind of my
Yeah.
thought. Like there might be some kind of like nest or something in that spot.
Ghost
because-
guardian.
Yeah. It's been that wall and then the wall on like directly behind me that he's just been like intently laying next to and staring at for like a week and a half.
You can perform a manual firmware update. Check under your cat's shoulder for
I'm pretty sure it's USB B under there. I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah, there's probably a critter in there. He's literally just staring.
he's like darting.
He is.
He's like,
Yep, he's got to hear something in there.
what's in there, bud?
I think he's mad about it.
That's
yeah,
so
He's got to be hearing something.
that would scare the shit out of me. That would terrify me.
What are you doing, bud?
He's like, you can't hear it? No, back to the wall.
Yep.
I mean, the walls.
He's doing his duties. You know what? Whenever it might be like a little mouse or a little critter or something small, but he's gonna tell you he told you so if it ever comes to light.
I mean, we definitely have mice in this house. That's without a doubt, because I occasionally find them ripped to shreds. So
Yeah. Well, then I think we have a building hypothesis here.
yeah.
Quinn, do you have something interesting to talk
Aw.
about during the ad break?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hit the button. We'll be back in a minute and a half. Probably nothing will actually happen. I'm just taunting you because I'm a bad person on Fridays. But
No, I
only
have
Fridays,
I have a really good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
Everyone else
yeah.
get some water. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Speaking of little water times,
Mm.
my little thing I'm gonna talk about is I learned about sparkling water. I learned about this today, or not today, like this week. I learned about sparkling water, and I
love
drink
sparkling
so
water.
much more water.
Mhm.
I have been misunderstanding what sparkling water is because, like, I think I told Katie like a week ago, or like a week to a couple of days ago. I was like, "Hey, I like the." This is gonna sound wild. Bear with me. I like the pain that bubbles of Coke give me,
Mhm.
like on my throat, but Coke is not good for me. So like I
Right.
only drink Coke because I like the bubble pain,
The bubbles. Yes.
the bubbles. It makes my little serotonin in my brain go burr. She's like, you
Mhm.
know, sparkling water exists, right? And I was like, what? I was like, you mean like LaCroix? I don't like LaCroix. They're not my fave. And she was like, no, you can just get like just carbonated mineral water.
Mhm.
That's all. And it has changed my existence. I think I got an entire case of it yesterday, and I've drank like half of it. And then I've gotten those big like bottled ones as well, and have drinking like 3 of those in 2 days.
Mhm. I
It's a
did that
game changer.
same thing when I was pregnant because I really wanted, like, I mean, I love Dr. Pepper. It's like my
Dr.
favorite.
Pepper's my shit.
It's my favorite, and
It's
I
my kryptonite.
wanted it so bad, and I was like, that's so much sugar and like so.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm supposed to avoid caffeine and all those things. So I discovered sparkling water during that time because I realized that I
Ooh.
just wanted the bubbles like more than anything. I mean,
Mhm.
let's be honest. I wanted Dr. Pepper, but the
Yeah,
bubbles
Dr. Pepper's
alone
dope.
helped.
I feel everyone's weak to Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
I guess we're
Oh, it's
back.
the best.
The ads didn't happen. They turned the pre-roll off and didn't actually run an ad. I got ad like 0. My timer got really confused. So hey, welcome back, everybody. 30 minutes, no ads. Oh,
Well.
right. So the dreaded duplication stuff. So I do have one browser source still standing for now because I haven't had time to download the clips and do it myself yet. I still use Twitch Guru. And I was thinking about subbing and paying for them, but now the clips are freezing and they don't always work that well. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to, I don't want to pay you for a service that you can't keep floating. And fair enough. It's a hard world out there, but I mean, I can just have StreamerBot do it. So I'm probably
Well, that might
gonna...
be what it ends up being for me too, is just maybe moving away from Stream Elements at some point for alerts and stuff. Just for that reason, because like I really like I want to hear my alert.
Oh,
It's
so
my
you
daughter,
can
and
hear.
it's adorable.
You can hear your alert. So there's
without
two
it
ways.
being doubled.
Well, okay. So first, how do I explain? It took me a little while to wrap my head around it. To be fair, I don't know that I actually have the ability to get you there in one shot. But
fair.
the punchline is, if the sound is controlled by OBS, if it's a browser source, a video, audio clip, whatever, if it only exists as a media source or browser source in OBS, the sound will not go to your speakers. It won't go to the primary feed because it will cause a feedback loop. Okay. Now, a lot of people, what they will do is they will break a rule. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to set the monitoring device under settings in OBS to be another thing. And so my monitoring rail is like another, like it comes to my headphones, and I do actually route it to Discord so that you all can hear the alerts that I hear. And I didn't want them to get doubled to the stream. And so I've actually have it so that OBS is not producing sound for it right now. As far as OBS is concerned, it's being monitored but not being played. And you may remember that is let me see if I can. Oh, right. Hang on. We got to go into advanced audio properties. This screen right here, you may be seeing this before, right? Where you can look at the sources that are in here.
Yes.
And you have monitor off over here. And there are different options for these, right? It's either I don't want it monitored.
The Ordo Malleus has sent us to aid.
Hey, Rosie with a raid. That's actually perfect because here. No, come back. That was really good. I needed that. Oh, I can go to the sounds that are monitored. That's actually the best place to go here. So these are all the sounds that my alerts play. If someone comes in on this raid, for instance, so the raid comes and this thing plays.
The Ordo Malleus has sent us to aid you.
Okay, so that thing pops up, and this thing right here under advanced audio properties. Let's scroll down and just show the active source. That is Audio Malleus right here. 3 options. I don't want to hear it in the monitor. I only want it heard in the monitor, or I want monitor and output. Monitor and output is sort of that's the intended use case for the production system. My headphones get a different stream than everything else does. That's true on the mixer anyway. I can hear sounds that you all don't hear sometimes. If I turn off the music, I might still hear it in the background where you can't hear it. And I can adjust the music's levels or whatever and then feed it back in. OBS is part of that flow. Like it can, turn it off and I can still hear it in the monitor and then flip it over. You can wire it up to hotkeys and shit if you don't have a mixer. That's kind of why they did it that way. They also don't want the doubling, and neither do I. And so a lot of people who want to hear their audio for these alerts, what they'll do is they'll turn on monitor and output, and then they will reduce the volume to half. Because when they do monitor and output, as the end user, oh, I can hear this whatever this option is. I click the button and I can finally hear my alerts. But everyone in the stream says they're so loud. I don't get it. And you turn them down until everyone who's listening is okay with it, and then they're at half volume because you have doubled the volume. Because it's going to the monitor, which is now the feed. Like it's going back in and getting re-added to the broadcast. And if your system doesn't have a lot of power or is doing a lot of other stuff, or I mean, other things can cause this as well, there can be a delay, and that can cause an echo.
So I think what I have mine set to is, I could just open OBS and look, but I want to say that I have it set to monitor only.
Okay.
And then my desktop audio picks it up.
I think that's how mine goes too.
So monitor
Somehow
only
it
is not
ends
a
up-
bad way to do it. That's what I'm
I
doing
have
right now.
monitor off.
I mean, it depends. If people are hearing it and you're hearing it, then I would say don't fuck with it right now.
What if people are hearing it and I'm not hearing it? Because I haven't heard my alerts in a while.
Oh, well, that's why, because the monitor's off. But you need to monitor. If your monitor goes to your headphones
Mhm.
and not desktop audio, right, then it's going to be, then it's okay. You shouldn't hear it.
But then desktop audio will not pick it up. How do you, so
Correct.
okay,
You have to set it to your, you have to set your monitor device. Okay. Your monitor device is here. You're going to file settings.
Mhm.
We have to wait because the settings menu is really the slowest thing to load in OBS for some reason. I don't actually know why.
But then that doesn't mess with your other audio, like your games and stuff?
So first of all, I don't know if you all know this, but global audio devices, you notice I don't use any global audio devices.
Yes,
I did notice that.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean, if you're doing that and if your setup is working, fine. But if you want,
That's
one,
no, but that's what
actually.
I'm looking to not do. I want desktop audio to go away, and I want everything to have its own thing.
then turn it off in here.
But then how do you hear games?
You have to use application capture, which OBS 28 and up can do that. I can show you that. I've never actually used it. I don't need it. But we can figure that out together, I guess. Because we're doing OBS all night tonight, folks. Right here under advanced for audio, you set a device. Now on my system, I have a lot of devices and they're all a little bit weird. I turned most of them off. So now there's only the 3. Ignore default. Default is just one of the 3, whatever Windows has set as the device. I have 3 channels for the Rodecaster, three inputs for it. The Rodecaster Pro 2 main, secondary, and chat. Chat is Discord and Zoom. I'd have those go to that essentially for the outputs. The headphones are actually just like arbitrarily named. Windows decided they were the headphones for some reason. Fine, doesn't matter. They are in fact going to my headphones in this case. But so this is a tricky here, and this is my system's hacky here because I don't want them going to this. I have another cable coming tomorrow to try and fix this problem so that I can like separate out my monitor. Right now, you're all getting the alerts at roughly half quality because I'm doing the thing I'm telling you all not to do. Because I don't have a workaround for it with my current setup. And tomorrow I'm hopefully going to fix it. But like for instance, in Quinn's case, Quinn, you've got headphones and desktop audio. Those are technically 2 different outputs, right? And so whatever sound device in Windows generates sound, if you're capturing whatever your headphones you're hearing, you cannot use your headphones as the monitoring device because you'll end up with doubled audio.
That's what it's on. It's on my monitoring. My advanced monitoring is on my headphones. My Razer Opus. It's like Razer Opus Stereo. It's on my headphones.
So do you have 2 inputs? Do you have 2 devices for your headphones technically?
It should just be this one. It should just be the Razer Opus ones. But Dad, remember, I'll say real quick because I don't know if it changes things. Remember when we did my audio a long time ago, and I technically stream could hear my audio and I could hear my stream audio, and then whenever we were doing it, I think you said something like, "Okay, it's gonna break for you, but it's actually fixed for like stream."
Oh yeah, that was because we needed to get it working at the time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like my audio is wonky. Like I feel like I have because I don't have a double audio. I have no audio, but my headphones are my advanced monitoring.
Advanced monitoring. I'm not sure what that term means.
Or under the advanced, the monitoring.
Oh,
device
you have them
is my
set there.
headphones.
And you don't hear it.
Anything. I hear nothing.
So I guess what's your desktop audio set to?
My desktop audio?
Yeah.
How do I see that?
Mine's my, so I don't have like a secondary option.
Oh, I see it.
I have like one audio source that works for like my headphones and my speaker.
I'm with Fraggy. I have that. Like my thing is set the same thing. The Razer Opus.
It's the same thing for all. Yeah. Okay. So then you can't do that because it will double your audio and do weird shit. So I mean, Quinn, you're for the setup you have, yours is set up correctly. You won't be able to hear it.
That's fine.
Which means they get full quality for the alerts and you can't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
If you could hear it, you'd either get double the volume with reduced quality or you'd have the delay, which I think is what's happening to Fragile right now.
Oh.
In order to hear it, and this is really important, there are two things you can do. The first thing is you get another audio device that you can plug in, and then you use that for monitoring. I have the mixer is technically 3 audio hardware devices, and I can pick one and send a signal to it and pick another one and send it somewhere else. And so like the main feed is going to Rodecaster main. That's the sound that everyone hears. Rodecaster 2, the secondary right here, is my monitor rail. Now, again, I have to do it wrong. And so like I actually have my music and sound effects also going on the monitor rail, and I turned off monitoring. So I can just hear, rather monitors all I can hear, and they don't actually produce sounds in OBS. They do not play. They only are monitored.
Oh.
But I'm sending the monitor to the stream anyway with the mixer, which is not an option that YouTube have because you don't have this bullshit. The solutions are like, you can also use voice meter but the easiest thing for you to do, honestly, is to start moving your alerts into streamer bot. Because if you have something that controls the alerts and produces the sounds in an application that is not OBS, then you'll hear it just like you hear your video game. And OBS will capture it exactly the same way. And then if you want to control the volumes independently, you can do this other thing that Fraggy was asking about, which is we set up I haven't actually done this. Let's go to like a test scene so I don't break everything here. My favorite thing to do. Audio test scene. Hi, audio test scene. And then let's go ahead and add an application audio capture. So you see how it's in beta right here? That means
I went to the page and I did not download it because I got scared.
No, you don't have to download it anymore. No, it shouldn't. It's installed in OBS 28.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't need the plugin. You used to need the plugin. Exeldra wrote the plugin, and it's pretty awesome. And so when this thing pops up, you literally can just set any live window in order to have it catch it. And OBS will try to hook that window and capture the audio. And here's the thing. I don't actually know if this is how it works.
Nope.
But remember what we just talked about, right? That if OBS has control of the audio, then you have to monitor it to hear it, okay? If you don't have a monitoring solution, like I talked about, then Fragile, your game will have weird echoed audio because it will fall into the exact same trap that your browser sources are in. So the application capture is not going to fix the problem. I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's going to be a part of it.
I'm like, my sound redeems, I feel like, are the only things that don't pop up with their own audio source. Everything else does. Like my alerts have their own audio source constantly. Like it's just there.
I think we should probably just go into your OBS together, and I have to look at it because then I might be able to tame it for you. That's hard to guess from here.
That wall. There's got to be a mouse.
But Dad, for mine, I should either probably just bite the bullet and do streamer bot, or time to get like Go XLR. Like a mini Go XLR is probably my easiest bet.
I mean, the mini Go XLR. If you get one, I want to explain to you how to prepare for the thing because it is a bit of a surprise. Setting it up, but yeah, once it's rolling, it's a pretty incredible piece of hardware for the cost. It does manage an awful lot of shit for you, and it does solve this exact problem. In fact, it has a bunch of devices on it. The thing that I have the box over here. It's got the 4 faders, which are mic, chat, music, and system. And I actually like in the I think I can still fire the software up, but like the software, there's a whole routing matrix that you can like use, kind of look and cross on a table. Like, what do I want going where? Do I want the microphones on this fader, this fader, this fader? Each of the faders has their own channel, and there's a bunch of them that don't have faders, and you can assign them to it. And actually, like, there's a sample channel. And I actually never I turned my mic fader into the sample fader. And so that channel, which didn't have its own fader, did. Because I never adjust the microphone on stream. I didn't have to. Right? It was always the same volume for me. Like, if I wanted to mute the mic or whatever, I had buttons on the stream deck to manage that stuff. And I used voice changers and stuff anyway that GoXLR didn't have. So that was the solution for that. Change the sample. And then there's a game. And game wasn't used for anything. I mean, I assume it was for the games. But since game were going through the system rail and I was adjusting that with everything else, I used game for my monitor. And I had OBS pointing at GoXLR game. And then under the routing, I can tell it to send the signal to the GoXLR beautifully has a headphone jack on it.
Oh.
And I can route whatever I want to the headphone jack with GoXLR software. And I routed game only to that. That is what monitoring's for. That feed went to my headphones and didn't go out. And there's like, you can actually set it up with OBS to turn off all the sound so it goes to monitor only and tab it back and stuff if you wanted to. So I could still, just like the mixer can like cut sound out so that I can still hear it, but the stream can't until I'm happy with it and then I hit a button to send it out there. OBS tries to do similar stuff. It's just not as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it's not an audio production suite. It's not quite as, like, the control of it in the moment is not very good, but you set it up in advance, it works the same.
Okay. Sweet. There's audio is so intense. Audio is such a wild trip.
I mean, I'm still learning every day too. And so like I got a couple of 8mm cables trying to use. I think I talked about this last week. I was so excited it seemed to work, and it's not working. In order to use my headphone jack and my line out jack on my PC is two different audio feeds to the mixer. So that bought me two more channels. And I was using one of those for monitoring. But the monitor quality was terrible. And because of a bug in the current firmware on the mixer, I wasn't able to hide. I had to send that out to stream. I couldn't just mask it from stuff, which is why I have this hackish workaround right now. And it sounded like crap. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, if I listened to a song, it was like almost like hollowed out, like it was missing like the half of the highs. If it was a female lead, I couldn't hear her at all, right? And like the bass was gone. I was like very confused. It's because the headphone jack plugged into a single jack on the back of this. These are expecting mono input, and that's a stereo output. I have to actually split it into a stereo and plug it into two of the faders on the back of the mixer and link them as a stereo signal, and then that should do it. But in order to figure that out, I had to watch a dozen videos where people talked about different ways of playing with the mixer and stuff. And this one guy's like, hey, maybe you want one more feed. Yeah, see, just plug it into this. I'm like, okay, but that didn't work. It says you need this cable. And he holds up a cable I'd never seen before. And I'm like, oh. And I watched the rest of that video. But I had to it was like 2 weeks of me trying to figure out like why the fuck this just didn't sound right. And it's because at the end of the day, I don't understand audio. It doesn't matter. I've been fighting with it for like 3 years. And I'm still very much a neophyte.
It's so intense.
Yeah, it's
so
intense.
Yeah, you need to feed Jesse.
Sorry, what?
Dad, is there any peeps you recommend for either me or Fraggy or anyone in chat to watch? I'm assuming Nettie is like a solidly good all the way around, but specifically is there
for
anybody you
audio?
watch for like audio?
I watch for audio. I mean, I don't have anyone right now. I'll be honest with you. Behind the scenes, I've been considering making videos about the Rodecaster for streamers because no one's doing it. And I'm at the point where I fought with it and I kind of understand it. And so I might do a video or two, but it's a lot of work. So I have to figure out like what I say and stuff. Like the one thing that people are discovering stuff about this thing every day. And one of the issues with the Rodecaster is if you want to use ASIO, which if you go on, when I went on OBS first and said, hey, I'm having like a big delay issue with this. I'm not sure what's going on. It was completely separate from other stuff. I had to do some I needed a firmware update, basically, which fixed it. It was a bug in early firmware on Rodecaster. But at the time, I didn't know, and I asked OBS what's going on, and the forum said, use ASIO, because that tends to fix a lot of stuff like that. If it's got ASIO, it's almost always better. Almost always, except, wait for it, with the poor Rodecaster Pro 2, which is not, its ASIO support's not great. And very strangely, so ASIO, what it does is right now, this mixer sends all of my audio out on one channel. That's the point. It mixes all of the stuff down to one stream, right? One wire, right? And that wire is just one source inside of OBS, right? You can actually see it bouncing. It's labeled Roadcaster. All of the audio on my entire system that the stream can hear goes through this box. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Right? But if I wanted to, I can set it up in ASIO mode, and in ASIO, every single channel on this comes into OBS, or, I mean, really Ableton Live. That's what it's for. Where it comes into Ableton Live, and they're all independent. And then, you know, you have like all 6 of your faders, your 4 inputs, and your USB. Everything you sent into it comes out, and they're still separate. And then you don't have to have the other outputs because you have them all separated. And I don't need that because, again, the mixer is mixing stuff for me. I don't need to do further mixing shit or separated filters or whatever on the PC. It's not a thing I want to do now. But the other problem with it is it explicitly only goes out on chat. The channel that I have set up for all my Discord stuff, so I would have to like relabel it and change it. Like, why does it not go out on the main rail? I don't know why. It's the strangest thing, and everyone's complaining about it. So that's the state of this device right now. It's very new. People are still figuring out how to get it to work and stuff. And so I might do a video on like just getting it basic up and how I set it up for, you know, my mixing setup. That might be helpful to folks, but because there's nothing like that really. The people who have done streamer videos on it are audio people, and so they're like, it's very, very basic.
Yeah. I think it would be dope. I mean, of course, also that's a lot of time and effort to put in, like, to like make a informatively educational video on how to wrangle this kind of stuff. Yeah. But
I mean, I just like to do the thing where I just scroll through this list. I mean, I'll do a TikTok of this. Just scroll.
Yeah, scroll. Just do that. Do a screen capture. Just record that and send it out.
Just record it.
A whole 60 seconds of just scrolling.
Bow to me, nutty. Bow to Thades.
Nutty's legit though. Nutty stuff is what I used back in the day. You told me about Nutty like when I started streaming, and I was like, this person's dope.
He's incredible. Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah.
I actually learned, I think, because I was trying to do some Nutty things. This was like the first thing. I don't know if y'all's OBS has ever done this. My OBS just like doesn't do plugins. Like I tried to do a Nutty plugin one time, and I did like the whole thing and like tried to add it to the file. I'm sure it's something that like it's downloading to like C drive, and my OBS is on like E drive. But like my OBS just didn't have plugins for a while and just wouldn't download them. I learned that through Nutty.
Okay. You can put them into how many OBSs do you have on your system, Queenie?
I don't know. Probably like 5.
That's what we have to. Yeah, that's like we can probably just delete some OBSs.
I need to go in and delete. I have Dad OBS, and then I have this OBS, and that's all the OBSs that should be here. Alas, there's more than 2 OBSs on my system.
How many OBSs do I have right now? I have no idea. I have 1.
I called your birthday tomorrow. How dare you not give us this information?
6.
I think he said it's tomorrow.
It's your birthday tomorrow.
I only have 6 parallel installs of OBS in the system right now. That's it. I might install a 7th. I might install a 7th so that I can record stuff while this runs. But that's like not a. I was thinking I would record my camera if I was going to keep doing TikToks. I wanted to have like. I mean, I will still do TikToks. I think at some point, but they'll be much more spread apart and at the same quality rather than like me recording full def cameras and shit. It's just a lot of work to do that and cut them and sync them and stuff.
Yeah.
If this was my full-time job, probably still no. I'd probably just focus on streaming stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said about all the like different like balancing of different medias like TikToks and Twitch and YouTube and everything needing its own little thing to be recorded in its own little way, so then you can edit it and put it up in its own little space.
That's a lot of work. It's a lot.
It is.
It's your birthday on Tuesday, Inside. Let's go.
Birthday on Inside on Tuesday.
All the birthdays.
All the birthdays. Birthday.
Wait, is it? Oh, is Tuesday in February times? No,
Wednesday is February.
You're almost in the cool month.
No, don't remind me. I got a gift from my mother from Amazon. It's a $300 vacuum. I don't need a vacuum. I have a vacuum that basically does the same thing this does. I'm like, I'm sending it back to Amazon because I could use that money to buy something that I actually need.
Yeah.
And so like, but I have to do it before Wednesday, or I'm stuck with a vacuum. Then I'm like, well, what? Okay, I guess I have
a vacuum.
2 vacuums.
You got 2 vacuum.
And I'm gonna
That's your backup
cry
vacuum.
into my hands. So let's avoid that.
It's your backup.
Backup vacuum.
Backup vacuum.
You can have a vacuum upstairs and a vacuum in the other area.
Did we just start talking about Echo?
Yeah, we did.
We were asking about your birthday.
Yeah, what's your birthday?
Birthday times.
You tomorrow birthday. Mm-hmm.
It's your birthday.
Are you gonna party like it's your birthday? Your birthday is tomorrow. What? Are you doing? You're doing little streamy times for it? Little birthday celebration?
Oh, jeez.
Echo your
Wishing. That's a time.
What video is that?
We were talking about how, because Echo streamed today and he was doing Hollow Knight, and there's I can't remember what the area is called, but there's I think it's in like the little like cathedral, the haunted cathedral thing. The organ music that's in there has a very, very similar tone to the El Tango de Roxanne that is in Moulin Rouge. And I'm like, every time I hear this, that song is in my head and I'm singing it. And Echo was like, I'm not familiar with that. I was like, oh, I'll send you the video. Also, warning, there's some really dark stuff in here, but the video is like, it's from the scene from the movie, and it's like, it kind of makes the intensity of the song what it is. So Moulin Rouge is my favorite movie. So I info dumped like, here's what's happening in this scene.
I also do not know what Moulin Rouge is.
It's my favorite.
I never seen
It's
it.
so good. It's tragic and sad and beautiful, and it's all the things. I like have seen it probably 100 times because it came out in like I think 2001, and I can repeat every line and it doesn't matter. I laugh and cry throughout the entire thing. It's so good. Wishing it's so good. It's such a good movie. It's so good. It was like, I remember going to the theater with my friends and like not really understanding what was happening at first, because it's like this circus. Like there's just so much color and like there's so much music, and I was like, this takes place in like 1899 and they are like playing modern music. Like, what is this? And I'm like 16 years old. And I'm just like, this is weird. I don't know how I feel about this. And like some of my friends were like, we're done. We're going to go. And I was like, okay, well, I paid for this movie. I'm going to watch it. And I'm so glad I did, because I sobbed and cackled and like all the things throughout the rest of the movie.
I'm looking up a trailer.
It is heavy. There is like some really, really, really uncomfortable kind of stuff in there, but like it's so good. It's so good. Moulin Rouge. So good.
What's the synopsis? Like what's the setup for it?
So the synopsis of the movie is it takes place in France during like the whole Bohemian Revolution, and the main character Satine is played by Nicole Kidman. The Moulin Rouge is a brothel. It's a dance club. It's like, so Satine is the main character. She's the star of the show. And she and everybody else who works at the Moulin Rouge is trying to transform the Moulin Rouge from a brothel into like an actual theater. Like they want to do shows and stuff like that. And the whole synapse is that they find this powerful, rich, creepy as fuck dude to like invest in the changing of the Moulin Rouge into a theater and like put on like a big show and stuff. And she is supposed to, like, she's a courtesan. She's supposed to convince him that she loves him so that he will invest in the show. However, she falls in love with Ewan McGregor, who is the writer of the show, and they have to conduct their entire love affair secretly. And it is just like, it is beautiful. It is such a good movie.
I am so excited. I saw in the trailer that I had pulled up, it said like from the director from Shakespeare, from Shakespeare, who wrote Romeo and Juliet.
Oh really? I'm not sure if I knew that.
It says
Baz Luhrmann. Written by Baz Luhrmann, directed it, But I have a thing about movies that use color. And Moulin Rouge uses color so well. Like in all of the scenes where they're dancing and like it's like there's a very, very heavy red tones, but then like during El Tango de Roxanne, which is probably the most intense scene in the entire movie, where like she is very much in love with this other man and trying to pretend that she is not, and like trying to be with the Duke, who has no other name other than the Duke. The entire thing is just blue and cold, and like it does so many things to my emotions. It's so good.
I'm so excited to watch this. It has the aesthetic that I love. I'm like a sucker.
It's wild. It's wild.
It's also,
like,
it says from the director of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, the movie,
know
the
that
movie
either.
adaptation of that. That was a very stylized, very, very
I don't
stylized.
know if I knew that Boz
movie.
did that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Don't worry, we're just going to talk more about this
wishing.
thing we talked about behind the ad break that's going to happen. We're not going to talk about anything unique or interesting at all. I'm sure nothing is going to be missed. Don't worry. It's just a minute and a half. Get yourself something to drink. We'll be back in a minute. I make no money doing this.
Get yourself
No
a seltzer.
money.
Get yourselves a seltzer. I'm so sorry. Get yourselves a nope. Get yourselves sorry. You know what? Get yourself whatever you want.
Heck yeah. But
Get
wishing,
yourself whatever you want.
should absolutely watch it. It is so good. Like I said, that's probably the scene that I sent you probably has like essentially the darkest part of the whole movie. It's not really worse from there. There's, a couple of things that sort of didn't age well, like the fact that, John Leguizamo is playing a little person. But like it's not done, like there's nothing that's really not aged well. And like I said, that scene, there's like a little bit of essay stuff in there.
Thanks, Alex.
So it's like it's a little hard to watch. Like I still have trouble watching that scene, and I've seen it 100 times, and I know what happens. Like that's sort of as dark as it gets. But I also feel the need to be like, by the way, this is a thing that kind of happens, because like it's very hard to watch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially
Is it a Broadway?
It is, yes. It's a Broadway show as well, which I have to see before I die.
Hold on, wait, because like I'm gonna look up, because I'm not. We all know I live in New York area. I was gonna say I don't want to dox myself. Moulin Rouge the musical. I'm genuinely looking and seeing when they have like another. I've been wanting an excuse to go to Broadway.
If you're gonna go, I will come. I will make the trip out there, and I will go with you.
I'm looking at this. Let me see.
My cousin and his husband,
dope.
for all intents and purposes, live in New York, and they've gone to see that show a few times, and I'm like, I want to go.
They have, oh my goodness, what? Wow, they have like, I see like Saturday through like Friday. They have like several showings. Do I just not know how Broadway works? I don't think I know how Broadway works. I'm like, oh, they must like circle in and come back and like.
I thought so
stuff like
too.
That. No, I see like Saturday 128 to all the way through like 2-3. So I guess like a week's worth. They have one. Oh, actually, no, there's more. There's from the 28th to the 10th. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 possible showing times.
Wow.
I'm so excited for you to
did
send
not-
photos. I will not be going to New York City. I've done a lot of time in the city.
That's valid.
I'm all set with the city. I've seen the city a whole bunch.
I would not go to New York unless for this one specific thing.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing. I feel the same way. Like, and not just for like, oh yeah, I'll go to Broadway and see a random musical. Like, there's a handful that like I probably would go see, like Sweeney Todd, but like Moulin Rouge in particular is like it's been my favorite movie since the very first time I watched it, and like it's just there's so much history there. It's seen me through pretty much every relationship that I've ever been in.
Oh,
like,
I love it.
It's 20 years. So good.
Oh, I'm seeing. Oh, wow. I'm assuming like ticket prices probably also bounce like here and there, but I'm seeing like 99 at the which 99 to like 150, which seems like a concert
Yeah.
level for tickets.
I feel like that's that's reasonable for
Oh yeah.
for that. Like, you know, I feel, and again, it's not necessarily like it's a thing that I could necessarily like just afford to like drop everything and do, but like
No,
also
yeah.
like it's Moulin Rouge.
I understand. There's so many times that people are like, yeah, like we're gonna see whatever band or whatever show, and I'm like, 150, 200 for
Oh
a
yeah.
ticket. Oh, sometimes that's a lot, but you have your couple of things that you're like, no, I'll throw it down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'll
I'm
throw
very
down for a
similar. There's
ticket.
like a very small amount of bands that I will like drop decent money to see. And
Mhm.
honestly, like an even smaller number of bands that I will pay any money to see just because I
Oh, I feel
don't
that.
love like crowds and stuff. Like it's got to be something that is the reward is higher than the oh god social anxiety that comes with like being in a crowd.
Yeah.
So which is weird because almost every single time that I do go to a concert, like I will be panicking about it on the way and then I will get there and I'm like, "Oh yeah, these are like my people. Like they're all here for the same reason I am because they love this band." Like
Oh yeah. I talked about it with Kate like a little while back. We talked about having good overstimulation. Like being
Mhm.
overstimulated sometimes not the most fun, but like I
Yeah.
feel like I get the same way with concerts. I'm like antsy when I go, but when I get there I'm like, "Oh, these are my people." And then also I like how loud concerts get. Like it's a good loud in my brain. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
loud
yeah.
enough that I can focus on it and
Mhm.
not be overwhelmed.
And
I
there's also just something about like the people there like being into the same thing that you are, especially if it's a band that you like really love.
Yeah.
There's like a vibe with that too where it's just like this is so nice.
Yeah, we're all here for the shared reason.
Mhm.
having done permanent hearing damage to myself at shows that were pleasantly loud, I think is another reason I'm not going to go to
Oh
most
yeah,
shows
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
That's fair.
We
Oh, I have
bring
my ears ring all the time.
yeah, we bring the things too, like cuz we
Earplugs.
brought we've brought our son recently to like 2 different shows and we brought like the things
Yeah.
for his ears cuz he's little.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, and it's like even like some of the bands that I do like really love that I'm just like, I still don't know that I really necessarily put myself through this for this band. There are just some where I'm like, no, I need to go.
Yeah.
Like I need to go.
I feel like
Like
the
the
only
last show
reason
that I went to was In This Moment, which is a band that I really love, but like I could have absolutely skipped that because I've seen them like 5 times. But
Mhm.
Sleep Token toured with them, and I love Sleep Token, and they're not super well known. So the fact that they're from the UK, and the fact that they were even here was like, I don't know when this is going to happen again because they're not. I mean, they're gaining popularity now,
Mhm.
but they were not at that point, and I was like, they might never come back to the US. Like, we have to go. And it was
Yeah.
like a spiritual experience for me. And there was like a little like 10-year-old behind me with like Sleep Token stuff on. And I was like, this
Oh,
is amazing. I was like,
that's
I love you so
adorable.
much. I don't know who you are, but I love you.
That's adorable.
I don't know, like for me, like going to shows now, it's such an overstim, so many humans and just so much like ambient body heat and random noise
Yes,
and
yeah.
like
That's fair.
the band has to be so loud in order to overpower all of that. And like there'll be neat little things during the show that sometimes mean, oh, I'm glad I came because I got to see them do this thing that wouldn't happen on the album or even wouldn't be
Yeah.
captured by like the
Yeah.
recording of the live performance. But those don't outweigh the discomfort for me. If I go to a show
absolutely.
nowadays, it's because I want to actually hang out after and try to see the human being that performed after the show. That only really works for
Yeah.
smaller
Yeah.
performers anyway these days, right? So because the bus outside is hard if it's like, you know, like some giant fucking band, it's impossible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like good luck seeing anyone from Aerosmith. Like they'll shoot you if you get anywhere
Right.
near the back of that fucking building, right? But if you want to like see like Alan Moore, or the dude who used to play for Great Big Sea. I don't even think Great Big Sea is together. They may have broken up entirely, but like seeing any of those people perform, like the venues would be tiny, like 15 to 30 people. And they used to perform to groups of people up in the thousands. And so you can get to see these people on their own and like have a chat with them after that. Like that, those shows are great. Those shows are great.
Yeah, there's and
I
there's
also, we all know someone that saw someone from Aerosmith. Yeah.
Oh, Amigo the Devil was good. That was a very small show. I mean, like I love small shows. Those are, if the band has the energy, like my favorite show, I mean, seeing Sleep Token might be my new favorite concert experience, but like we saw CKY, which is like not a super well known, but also have like nationally toured with Metallica. And they
Oh
played
shit.
in like a closet, essentially. Like there wasn't even a backstage at this place. Like they had to walk through the crowd to get on stage. And like
Yeah.
the energy that they put out, like you would think that they were either playing for a room full of all of their best friends or that they were playing for like a sold out stadium. Like they were just like, there's maybe 75 people here, but like this is fucking awesome. And they played their hearts out, and they just like they took requests all night. They played long they were supposed to. It was amazing.
Oh.
Like those are the best. But there's a lot of shows that I will purposely stay away from because I'm like, I also kind of feel like even though I like this band, I also sort of know this crowd
Oh
well
yeah,
enough
yeah.
that like I'm not gonna do well here. There's gonna be probably
Yeah.
too much sloppy drinking, which I can't be around for trauma reasons, and like and they're not those ones are not worth it for me.
Yeah.
I have to absolutely need like there needs to be like an okay, these are things that might happen here because they can always happen, but this band is like it's bringing it up here for me and it's worth the risk.
Yeah. I feel that. I think the best concert I ever been to, I saw Apparition set a little bit like higher, about 30. Wait, I want to scroll up a little bit because I saw and it made me chuckle. Concerts are $30 or I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
Me and my friend, I think it was one of my favorite concerts ever. We saw that I have talked about it a little bit, but we saw Tears for Fears. I forget every time.
Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears
I think so.
played at this like stadium that was outside over like is it a wharf? It's like they were like on the ocean, on the water, but we were in a stadium that was like
Ooh.
surrounding it. It was $30. The seats were like really high up, but it was so perfect. I've never like even like concerts that I've been to that are like a little bit more pricey. Nothing will beat this one. $30. We were high up. We could see just like the sun was setting behind
that's
the
so
band,
nice.
and we could like see out as they were playing the just like it's Tears for Fears. So like as they were playing the most like majestic, like pull at your heartstring level songs like Mad
Oh,
World and the
that's
sun is
amazing.
setting. And we just threw it out on a whim. We were like, oh well, they're gonna be here and we should go see them. It's $30. Why not? The seats are kind of far back, but like it doesn't matter. We're just there
Yeah.
because we just know them a little bit. And it was so wonderful.
That's so great.
It was the best time, which made me also realize I think concerts for me heavily depend on their venue, and I will pick a venue before I pick a band.
That is valid. That is
Mhm.
valid. Because the small venue experience, like, and again, it also depends on the band. Because like I've
Yeah.
also had the exact opposite experience where I went to see a band that was very, very, very big in like the late '90s and early 2000s. They are no longer all together. It's literally just the
Oh.
singer, and
Oh.
I've never seen them live, and they were one of my favorite bands in high school. So we went, and like there were more people for the openers than there were for that band, and like
Yeah.
the singer was very visibly annoyed, and like
Oh.
it ruined everything about that
Aw.
band for me because I was just like, wow, like I understand that there's not a lot of people here, but like the ones that are here to see you, you jerk. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so it was like,
Aw.
all right, well, that's that, I guess. Yay,
Aw.
I'm glad I got to see them.
That's also always my fear that like something like that'll happen and I'm like,
Yeah, and then
well.
it just like ruins the band for you, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Oh no, see that would I think we got super, super lucky, Spider. Like if it would have been rating, I would have had a different tune with the show, but it was such
Oh
a like
yeah,
perfect day.
that's so nice.
I also remember one other it was a really good concert. They're also a less known band. I don't know if anybody knows like Kishibashi, but I didn't even know the band before I went. My roommate was just like, "Hey, I have this extra ticket because this person couldn't end up going. Do you just want to go?" And I was like, "Sure thing." And if you don't know Kishibashi, I highly suggest looking them up. They're I think they are technically like experimental. Like they do a lot of orchestra stuff, and then also like at their concert, it's just this one person that like does a lot of the stuff, but then they get other artists when they're touring to come play with them. Like
Oh,
somebody,
that's fun.
it was somebody that was there with them last time, like played the cello, like sung and played the cello. So they added that, like just cello to their like mix. And it was really, really good. But
That's so
I
cool.
will never forget that the crowd was so visibly queer. So
Yes.
so visibly queer. And everybody there, I remember like going in, we were standing in line with these like individual times, and they were also so visibly queer, and they turned around and offered me and my roommate some special fun little adult brownie times. And it was I don't know why it was the most magical little thing. We've never met these individuals. Also, be very careful with that kind of thing. Like, don't take random things from people. And like, yeah,
But
but
you
like, it was
did.
such a
Right?
no, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I'll be
No, I
right back.
turned
I
them
have to go look at a puzzle that
But-
my kids completed.
Okay, good luck.
Oh, little puzzle times. No, but like, they were so kind. They were just like the queerest looking individuals. They turned around to us and just like, would y'all like? So we're like, no, we're good, but I appreciate your sentiment, and we're all about to have a wonderful time at this concert.
Jesus.
It was funny. Sometimes I like the crowd of bands a lot more than I like the band sometimes. That's the takeaway.
Man, I'm trying to think of the last. I can't remember the actual last live show I went to. Definitely pre-pandemic, of course. I can't think of who it would have been. It may have been the lead singer of Great Big Sea. I saw Dream Theater a couple of times live. And
That's dope.
it was the first time I saw them, I was too young and did not wear earplugs. And I have regretted that for the rest of my life. So just like keep that in mind. Yeah.
No.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Whenever someone says, hey, this band is experimental, I always brace for impact, because sometimes it's something really charming, like, oh, they're a rock band and they added a cello, and that is technically experimental. Gorillaz is technically experimental, right? And they bring a whole bunch of like different people in to just do whatever, and it's so that's fascinating. Also experimental, Flaming Lips. Not their stuff you've probably heard. They have like one of their experimental albums. I probably should listen to this on YouTube just to get a sense of what it is. But like, in order to hear the album, you have to buy 4 separate CDs. You have to set up 4 separate boom boxes at certain positions in a room pointing at you, and then play them all at the same time. And it's supposed to be like, that's the experience, is hearing the different sounds from different directions. Experimental. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Right. Sometimes it's sometimes the experimental is too far. And then like Thursday is one of my favorite bands. And I mean, they're still together as far as I know, but this shit they do now is really out there. It's hard to follow. It is like, it's very bizarre. From them being essentially like a post ska informed hardcore punk band. Right, with some of the best lyrics. I mean, they have a couple other songs with the things the Ataris have been trying to write for their entire careers, and Thursday would just like bang them out in a song or two. But they also have some crazy albums that are hard to follow, because they enjoy the experimental stuff more than the stuff that sells. And good for them, power to them. But I mean, I miss their old stuff. I miss the Flaming Lips old stuff too.
I would have to buy 4 boom boxes and the album.
Yeah, and the album comes in a 4-disc set. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what are they thinking?
Oh gosh,
that does remind me. Have any of you ever done the thing where you play the Dark Side of the Moon while watching The Wizard of Oz?
Ooh, yes.
It's pretty neat.
No, should I?
It's pretty neat. We'll do that sometime. Yeah, it's got to be easier now. Probably someone's already synced it up on YouTube. We don't have to do it anymore. But like, you had to wait for the lion to roar 3 times and hit play, and then make sure the disc is on repeat, so it plays the whole disc again and again, and it's synced up for like 2 1/3 plays of the disc throughout the whole movie. It's really trippy and fun. It's really trippy. Like, it's of course a coincidence.
It's Wizard of Oz and what?
Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
Oh,
You know,
I love that song.
that's the album that has the rainbow on it, right? That everybody is like
That's
freaking out about.
literally
about
the
their
thing. Yeah,
anniversary
they're like, what
album.
the fuck?
Yeah.
When did
That
Pink
also
Floyd
has
get
a rainbow.
woke? They've been woke since the 70s, my guys. It's too late for Pink Floyd. Like,
It's so hilarious though to watch everybody make complete idiots out of themselves. They're like, "Wow, I'm so disappointed," and it's like
I wish I saw that as
Absolutely
hilarious.
their original
It's
album
just-
has a rainbow on it, and it's not. And like it's a prism. Like
Yeah, it's literally what it's for. Like Isaac Newton also woke as fuck. Apparently, like, he wasn't actually. He was kind of an asshole, but like also the dude with the prisms. Yeah, I don't find that stuff funny anymore. I find it just deeply depressing. Like that there are people that are like, I mean, they're like literally dying of a disease they don't think exists. That's the world I'm in right now, and I can't believe that. I mean, that's just the cost of demonizing teachers and not paying them. All this like rampant stupidity in our culture. I look forward to a world when kids have intuitive understanding of statistics, and so when we say, "Oh, owning guns makes no sense because statistically speaking, they make everything more dangerous," and then literally everyone's like, "Oh yeah, let's get rid of these things." That would be that's the world I want to live in.
Please.
Instead of like, what the fuck with the rainbows? It's like,
The sky.
The sky.
the sky is pretty woke.
Too woke.
Yeah, it should be. But yeah, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Gonna try to-
I found it linked. I'm assuming this is linked up, but it's literally like Wizard of Oz, Arrival at Emerald City sync with, and it says Pink Floyd.
That's so cool.
I haven't listened to. I know they exist. I think I said this the other
Someone
day.
did
I'm
it.
pretty sure I know a song better than I know the band. Like somebody will like religiously be like, "Hey, do you know this band?" And I'll say no, and then they'll play like 3 songs, and I'm singing every lyric like
Yeah,
from
yep,
my brain.
Yep, that's a mood.
But the
I do the
Gorillas
same
is really cool. The Gorillas is actually coming to us soon, and I will not be going because the Gorillas is insanely expensive. They're like ridiculously pricey.
I mean, anyone that like is in RIAA control town and Ticketmaster town, they're like, even if you can buy a ticket from the actual venue, it's going to be crazy expensive because Ticketmaster, but probably scalpers are going to buy them all and double the price anyway. So like, just
Yeah.
I mean, there's another reason. If you're going to see a live show, go see someone small. Find some indie bands local to you. Get to know some people. Like get into the scene. Like
Yeah,
that's the way to like find music you like that you could potentially use on stream. If you make some friends with a band who's got 20 fans, they might be like, "Shit, yeah, use it."
Ooh, you know
It's
what?
true.
I might. I don't know. I feel like Kishibashi's gotten a little bit bigger. I feel like they're a little less known, but I've been considering reaching out to them and asking them because their stuff is really sick and dope.
I don't know who they are. It can't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It can never
sometimes-
hurt to ask. What
and
the
sometimes
worst
even
thing they'll
if,
do is
like-
say no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
say
and
no or don't
sometimes
respond.
even
yeah.
if they're not like super well known, but also not super like small. Like sometimes they're just like I got permission from Steam Powered Giraffe to use their entire discography.
Oh hell
Sometimes they're
yeah!
pretty good about that. Yeah, I got that from
Yeah.
a Ryan experience. It's pretty nice.
Very
Sometimes
cool.
they're nice. Also, if you put the LGBTQIA plus tag in there and be like, hey, this is the kind of stream I am and stuff, they'll either respond with a yes, or if they want to be shitty about it, they just won't respond because it's really bad PR to respond and be homophobic in an email
say
and
no-
writing.
yeah.
Right. They're
Yeah.
not going to say yucky things in writing unless they literally want their brand to be that. And if someone makes that mistake, blast them on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just end the band. Like that's fine. Like it's not the age for them to do that stuff. And they kind of, I mean, people who make money on the world, they get that now.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Alex Jones personally bankrupt. 10 out of 10, America. Good recovery. Almost. We're on the way. On the way. Double rainbow.
Oh, double rainbow.
Related to
Echo's
someone in a
my favorite.
band. You jam with? Wait, what do you play, Echo? Oh, if
I don't
you
want. That's so fair.
use
Yeah,
your
don't
music,
dox
you get
yourself.
doxed, yeah. Is it not? It's not time yet to be a public figure. Yeah.
No, I just mean I like the music.
Oh, the verb jam used to mean like play with them.
Oh,
Play with them.
Yeah, that's where my brain went to.
Let's jam. Fucking pick up my guitar and get over there.
Echo, I caught your jam. I was like, wait, Echo.
Thank you.
How? What would make you think Echo plays?
Literally, that's what the verb jam used to mean. Like I can't.
Yep.
Is it?
Yes. Hard yes. If you're in the
Oh.
music circle,
I thought
think
jam
it's-
just meant
I
like
think
you're
it's-
jamming along to the song.
Hey, what are you doing tonight? You want to jam?
What does jam mean in music?
Yeah, jam with an echo. Yeah,
A gathering
like
or
you're jamming.
a gathering or performance in which musicians play together informally without preparation. Okay, it still means that.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you mean you dig it, you jive with it, you like it. I don't know. There's got to be.
jive.
I mean, if you all tell me, has jam been usurped by Zoomers to mean what Echo's using it to mean now? Because it could be that's the case. Language does evolve. It just blew my mind because I don't know what musicians are using now to describe that exact thing that all musicians have to do. Like, you know, I would go outside at college with my 6-string and sit down on the pyramids in the quad, and then I would play. And then sometimes someone would wander up with their instrument and sit down and play with me. And there was one day that some dude had a fucking portable electric guitar, and this other dude had bongos, and they sat down with me and we did Stairway to Heaven. Because I could play at the time, I could play the entire song rhythm section from start to finish, and so he did all the soloing, and the dude just kept rhythm on the bongos. And I didn't know the other two guys at all. That's jamming. That's what that was.
That's so cool.
And at the end of that session, we had a little
music.
audience, and then the dude who was like, I mean, he had long hair that was not well kept, and it was tied back with a bandana. He was nodding at me with a big grin, and he said, "Dude, do you know any Dead?" I said, I'm sorry, I don't. And then unfortunately, we didn't play anything else after that. I do not know any Grateful Dead songs. What's the punchline there? Yeah, vibing. That's the verb.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Like vibing.
Yeah.
Vibing. Vibing's the word.
You be jamming. See, to be jamming is different than to jam, I think.
I like the flute.
You could rip it up on a flute. That'd be awesome.
I need wife to do. Why for anybody that doesn't know, wife plays like guitar, like she has like 3 guitars.
She
She plays like electric guitar, acoustic guitar. She hasn't in a very long time, but I want her to. This is me saying I want her to. That's all. I got it on air.
Jam and toast. Yeah, there's another use for the word jam is like jelly.
Echo, you take your flute.
Jelly
Katie will take her guitar. You'll make a sick band.
I'm talking about bands.
ASMR.
A flute and a guitar? Hells yeah.
Was that on the schedule?
Birthday toast.
What would our band name be? If the 3 of us were a band, what would we be? Fraggie's on vocals. Quinn, you're obviously a drummer.
Oh, thank you. I've always wanted to be a drummer. I'm so glad you picked me for that.
I mean, what else could you be? I'm looking through. We need.
If
we're gonna be a 4-piece, I guess. A 4 or 5-piece. I'd be keyboards, I guess, or synths, right? And so we need we need a guitarist, a lead guitarist probably, and we need a bassist. Echo, you have bassist written all over you. You get that, right?
Echo's gonna play bass.
Yeah, Echo, you play bass. So we need. I'm looking for the chat. I'm gonna pick who's our electric guitarist here. I don't know. Larplet, you're on electric guitar.
I love that.
Yes.
I will learn drums. Don't tempt me.
What will our
That's like
band
one of my
name be?
things.
We need a visceral flamingos.
Anvil.
That's a good start. That's a good start.
I can't remember what that was from.
Flaming
I remember
anvils.
it, but I can't remember what it was
Anvils. Flaming anvils.
Screaming anvils.
Screaming anvils.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
That one's good. I like that one.
I'm
I
so
like
happy.
screaming
There's
anvils.
our band name.
Because I have to learn how to like actually scream.
Anvils and toast. Never explained.
No, we can totally use
Anybody
a,
else?
Explain.
we can use a filter to make you sound like you're screaming. That's fine. We're not going to have you damage your voice.
Oh my god, I see. Wife listens to a lot of screamo stuff, and there's one person in specific that amazes me.
Oh my
This
God,
person
Larplet.
like blows my brain times. I forgot their name, but they're the singer from Lorna Shore, which also very very cool band times. They are heavy like metal screaming. So like if that's not your jam, it's not your jam. But they have done like things before of like putting like a camera down his throat and watch his vocal cords, what they do when he screams, and
Oh,
they
it's so
like
cool.
they're
So
it's
cool.
wild. They like twist and flip over each other.
Oh,
He
I
has
wanna
like
see
some
it.
gnarly screams.
Sounds
It's
like
really cool.
He's
I wanna
damaging
see it.
his voice with every album.
He did a part of the video. I'm pretty sure I'll have to find it. I'll ask Katie to send it to me. But part of the video was him talking in depth about how he goes about getting his screams and how much attention time and care that goes into his vocal cords and
Mm.
voice. He has like multiple days at a time where he's like, I don't talk this week. Like I physically I rest and
yeah.
like do everything, and like I'm like, that is so sick.
That's crazy.
Cavatime, it's called Lorna Shore. They opened for, or I think they collabed with a band me and my wife like a lot. Called Spirit Box, who is also led by a female vocalist, and she's
Wait.
sick.
Hang on. I feel like I was recently sent that band by Corvid.
It sounds familiar,
It
actually.
was Lorna what?
Lorna Shore. I'm gonna LORNASHORE.
If I'm not mistaken, it was because I recently corrupted
Yeah, Echo.
Corvid into a sleep token, and Corvid sent me a video of, I want to say, the singer of that band doing a sleep token cover. I just have to look.
Oh,
if I
yeah.
see it.
I see her on fucking TikTok. That's why I know that name. Like, she'll do, like, her thing is to do songs like
Covers,
1 or 2
right?
octaves higher than, like, that's like her TikTok, because she'll sing selections
Yep,
from
that's
songs
the one.
really high. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
forgot what's the main person's I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna message waifu.
Hang on a second, because I have it right here. Actually, I could probably even look at my message from Corvid, because it wasn't that long.
Is it time already? How can it be?
What?
It's time. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds, and then I got to run the ad break. It's not normal to have to run ads to interrupt conversations.
I'm gonna share the video in Discord.
I literally just messaged Kate and said, Kate, do you know the wild screamy camera down throat video you showed me?
Will Ramos?
Will Ramos. Ramos, that's his name. I just sometimes I don't think how me and my wife communicate are actually words. I'm just like, hey, screamy camera down throat. You know?
I mean, that's probably enough though, because I imagine you've only seen that probably once. Right?
It's so fucking fascinating because, like, the way you just worded that is the way we used to Google for shit, and now
Yeah.
people Google for stuff with full sentences and questions, and that's actually a more efficient way of finding what you want. So, are you telling me that you Google with full written sentences, but you communicate with spoken words the way we used to
I
Google,
sure
just
do.
like yelling the proper nouns and that's it, like verb nouns, done. Okay.
I
Yep.
sure do. Oh,
While I square myself with this staggeringly dark discovery, I'm going to run the ad break, during which I make $0.00 because Amazon does not like its content creators. And we'll turn the pre-rolls off so that if you have to reload the tab, you will, not have to watch fucking ads when something interesting is happening. Will anything interesting happen right now? If so, it's Quint's fault. We'll be back in a minute and a half. It is.
I do have a TikTok that is a bunny eating honey.
A bunny
Ooh,
eating honey?
that rhymes.
Do you want it? I got it.
That makes me happy.
I mean, we can't watch a TikTok right now because I can't show it on stream.
Oh, that's true. Oh, chat, you're missing out.
I mean, just Quinn's going to watch it. Even Fraggy and I are left out.
No, I'm putting it in the thing. I'm putting it in the secret
Oh, okay. we can
secret
see it
zone.
there. Okay.
Secret zone.
In the secrets. I'm putting it in the secrets.
In the secret zone.
Look at him. I love him.
Wait, hang on. I'm pulling it up.
He's so good. I want to see the baby.
I want to see the baby. Also, oh my god, so speaking of like adorable animals doing things, have you all ever seen any of the TikToks of the like fox sanctuaries? Because those are my favorite.
Oh my god. Do you watch the one in specific that has like, oh my god, I watch one specific channel that's a fox rescue, and she goes around and gives them all popsicles, and I love that.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've seen that. I know that there's 2 that I follow, and they each have like their kind of main fox, and one of them is Finnegan, and the other one is Portia.
Yeah, that one, Finnegan the Fox. Yeah,
I love that. I love that channel.
Ah.
It's so good. They make the cutest sounds that I have ever heard in my life when they are happy.
I thought I was gonna own a fox one day, and I've reconciled with May is enough of energy. I don't need a fox.
Totally fair.
But I would love to own a fox.
I know,
Lost.
they're so
Should
cute.
Quinn get a fox? Actually, let's get a faster answer.
Quinn.
Lost. Can I get a fox? I want to adopt a fox.
Can Dad get a fox?
Why can't I have a fox, Lost? But why,
Dad have a
fox?
fox?
Why,
I'll
Lost?
come
Why?
take care of it.
Why
I'll come
not?
take care of it daily. Look, listen.
Because you will feed the cats to the fox.
I'm fine with that. Quinn's gonna move
I don't
in.
need fox.
Quinn's moving in,
Yeah.
and he's
I'll
gonna
take care of
live
it
in the
daily.
guest room, and he'll take care of the
Yep.
fox. And
I
Lost will
support
help
fox
take care of the
times.
fox.
I will let
support
the fox live in the room with me.
Donato, I am not going to say what the fox says because I will
No.
hurt all of your ears because it is very high pitched
Ring
and I
ding
can
ding
do
ding
it.
ding ding ding. Ring ding ding
No,
ding ding
no,
ding.
no.
Ring ding
It's
ding
much
ding
cuter
ding
than
ding.
that.
Bing 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 bing. Have you seen the song, Freggie?
I love that song. That song
Yeah,
lives
I
rent
have
free in
seen
my
the
head.
song, but the fox makes actual noises. They're
No,
like
it-
happy
no, it
squirrels.
doesn't.
They're the best.
The point of the song is that in
sounds like they're
stories, it never
laughing.
tells us what the fox says in a storybook. That's the point of the song. Why you gotta
Because
write
I'm
back
not sure that there's any way to actually like
That's the point.
put that into
of
words.
the-
about it.
That's
Think
the
about
point
it.
of the song.
Think about
How
it.
would you-
Fox can
how
just
would
be
you-
your alarm clock. Think about it. Think about it. Think about
that
it.
still sounds good to me.
That's the point of the song.
They scream, but they sound like they're laughing.
You can boop. You can boop their snoot to snooze the alarm. A snoot snooze.
What's involved
on,
in
it
fox
writes
I
care?
want a
So-
fox.
Like, how do you take care
Too
of a
much.
pet fox if you have a pet fox? I
much.
see people on TikTok with pet foxes.
Oh,
I mean, they need a lot of like enclosure space.
Burn
from
closure?
what at least I've seen the ones that have like the big outdoor enclosures, but I also saw somebody who like their fox does come into their house. The fox
Mhm.
essentially has a living room sized room to itself with its
Aw.
own furniture because they burrow. And this fox had like burrowed into their couch, like a massive level
wow.
of a couch. They are like wild little creatures.
Well, then
Apparitions
you
is
don't
right, a
want
border
one,
collie-
Quinn. You just
No, I do.
I want one.
want it.
Well-
I'm also a creature of chaos, so like it would go well.
To be buried a few feet so they don't dig out. Oh yeah. They're big digging
Yep.
creatures.
Oh my god, they're so freaking cute. They're so
You could give him, but imagine you wake up in the morning and there greeting you is a fox. And what do? You have fox popsicles and you give it a fox pop. And then you get to say,
foxicle!
I gave my fox a foxicle today. Think about it.
All of your problems are just instantly better by giving a fox a popsicle.
Depression
is that
cured from
I
that
don't,
fox.
I think it sounds like the fox is going to introduce problems that might not
Mere-
make for a chill
Mere
time.
obstacles. Mere obstacles.
Right. Those are just tiny little speed bumps. It's fine.
You know what you do with
A
obstacles? You
hole in
hurt
my
them.
couch is not a tiny
Foxticles.
speed bump.
Forget mice.
I mean, the fox will do a better job with mice than the cats will.
Mhm.
It's pest. Look, listen. It's there's
control,
just
yeah.
more. I'm writing a pros and cons list. I'm getting a notebook now.
So many more pros.
I have some concerns.
Pro,
And even if there are more
Cute.
cons, the pros are bigger. Just saying.
con, stinky.
The fox won't live in the hen house. It'll live in the house.
Oh, would the fox eat the hens? Not if you rescue a baby fox and they grow up with the hens.
It's true.
Is that how that works? Is that
I
how,
think
I don't think
so.
that's how animals work.
Yeah, they burrow, but we also have you dig the thing down. The cage goes down into the ground so that things can't burrow under.
So you're getting listen, the fox is already
We're
in
getting
its
a fox.
moment has produced an outlet for some exercise times.
Mm-hmm.
You got to dig, and then you get a cool digging project, and then
Yep.
you get to put a fence in that hole and bury
And you
it.
can
That's
take
a
it
cool
for
project.
walks. You can take it for walks. Walking
could.
times, foxy woxy.
I don't think you can walk the fox. I think-
Foxy walk.
Ken!
Has
I
to-
can if I can
it.
walk my cat, you can walk a fox.
Cats and foxes are different, though. They're different animals.
Is a fox part of a feline or a canine?
It's canine, but it's so far branched away from it.
Oh.
Like dogs are such an integral
it.
part of the human species. Like it's a symbiotic thing. They've been a part of our species for so long that they stand no fucking chance in the wild anymore, right? They're just like
I already have.
they have evolved
which
to
means
recognize
a fox
us
would be no problem.
and know what we're feeling. Cats evolved to survive around us and not really to give a shit about us. And horses are somewhere in the middle.
Majestic,
They're somewhere in
that
the middle.
majestic beast on the cat tower. Comfy cat tower.
Yeah, I think that the beastie and a fox is like the fucking Voltron of destroying Fraggie's house. That would finally be the end of it.
No, I'm
whatever-
pretty sure Beastie would keep the fox under control.
Be beastie
I've watched
with
that
like
child put the cats into a sleeper hold and like they fall asleep in her arm.
I don't think that's what's going to happen here. I think so. You remember how in Voltron the robot was like all 5 lions
Seriously?
assembled, and there was like 2 lion mouths for hands and 2 lion mouths for feet, and then 1 lion mouth opened up and the head came out, and the robot fought with a sword, and the lion. That's Beastie's going to have foxes for hands and feet, and is going to rampage around the house taller than Capitom, throwing shit. He's going to rip the island out of the kitchen and throw it into the car. Like it'll be Beastie's dream come true.
Demo. Perfect.
And then at the end of it, Beastie will eat all of the chickens live. Just gobble them fucking down. Just rip them apart and stuff them into her screaming maw. So, and then at the end of that, Capitom's going to say, I told you we shouldn't have gotten a fox. And he would have been right. He's been right the whole time.
Except I'd be like, well, worth it.
I'm gonna have this exact nightmare. Or a dream. Not a nightmare. Simply a dream.
Dream,
Oh,
yes.
poor horses.
Fox dreams.
Dream. Do horses are horses? Do horses like people?
They're big dogs.
Oh.
They're big dogs.
Big old doggies.
I mean,
That's a pretty large dog.
I
I've seen
explained
that.
this.
They're
I
pretty
tried to explain
hefty.
this to my sons earlier in the week. My other sons, Prime and Omega, like how they do face licks sometimes, and with some dogs, it's like this much. It's like a little fitty, and I was demonstrating on Prime's face, just showing his little lick. And then some dogs, I had a large dog as a teenager, and the dog had a tongue that was about this big, 3 fingers, and it licks your face. But the horse, Charlie, Tara's lost horse, is this big. The tongue is this big, and it just right up Lost's face. It was the most. It was quite a thing to behold, and I don't want horse licks on my face. It's just it's just more tongue than I have face.
Hey, do you know what? You know what is in the other direction of this with? A fox. Fox tongue.
Smaller tongue.
Will foxes
smaller tongue.
Will foxes do licks on people?
They do. I know I've definitely seen them do the little like love bites a lot.
Like a cat?
Yeah. Where like I've watched so many of these freaking TikToks, like it's embarrassing how many of them I've seen. But like they'll be the owner of the sanctuary will be like petting them, and the entire time that they're being pet, they're like making all the adorable little like chirpy sounds and like just mouthing the crap out of their hands.
Sure.
With their little teeth, and it's like just all the like just these little gentle like bites. It's so cute. They're so cute. What a fox!
I got the pros and cons list down. I'm ready to write.
I think the cons outweigh the pros, because remember the first con that was presented to us was that the fox will burrow holes into our couches.
But that's why you get it. It's like you get the
couch.
cat a fake laptop because the cat wants to do laptop.
You're gonna get a
times with
fake
you. You
living
just-
room set for the fox for it to destroy.
They're on the side of the road all the time.
Oh, you want to bring one of those inside for the fox? It's been sitting on the sidewalk for a week. No big deal. What moved into the couch? The fox will probably eat it. It's fine.
Exactly.
We got roaches. How'd that happen? And Fratchy's gonna be like, they're my pets too. I want all creatures in the house. Little cockroaches that do little cute nibbles. Watch. Nibbles on my fitties. They're the cutest little things. Giving the mooches to the cockroaches. Poor Capitom's like trying to pack a
Haven't you ever
suitcase
seen
to
Joe's
escape. It's all
apartment? They're
roaches.
adorable. Come on, you've seen Joe's apartment.
I will draw the line at cockroaches.
I got it. Finally. Okay, that's 2 votes against 1. Fredgie, you're out. We're not getting foxes. Thank you, Quinn.
No,
Aw.
not foxes, cockroaches. Different.
They're one and the
different
same.
animal.
They're one and the same. You get one, they get the other
Are
one.
they?
That's what I'm trying to say.
How
yeah.
are they one in the same? Where is your
It's-
logic there?
It's obvious. Come on, Fredgie, keep up. We just went through all that math. I'm not doing it again.
That is
They
not
both
math.
have
Time, Uno.
little heads. They both have bodies. They both have little arms.
They're both little creeps. They both want to live in your couch. Both want to rip holes in your couch. They both ruin your life. And if Beastie combined with the
God.
powers of either one, she would throw your kitchen island into your car. And I'm trying to
Thank you,
avoid these very obvious
I need a
pitfalls.
new car anyways, and a new kitchen island. That's totally fine.
She's just gonna do it again.
Get some fox for the kitchen island.
How many islands and cars are you gonna go through? Hi, Chris.
Uh,
I have
as
concerns.
many
about
as it
this.
takes to get a fox.
Yep. See? People do keep cockroaches as pets.
Do they?
That's a
Not
thing.
the hissing ones are
No.
scary. I don't like the hissing ones.
Oh, they're really
I didn't know
disturbing.
I didn't know they hissed. No idea cockroaches hissed until one did, and I cried.
Oh no.
I didn't know what to do. I was so freaked out. I was like, "This isn't real. This isn't real. I'm dreaming." And then when I couldn't do my thing that like wakes me up, I just ran.
Oh my gosh. So cute.
Actually, Katie? I kid y'all not. Katie has
not wrong, Wisham.
spent the night in her car at least 2 times because she found a cockroach in her room, and by the time she went to go get something to kill it, it had vanished on her. And this was in college. She called me
Ugh,
twice
that's
and was
gross.
like, "Sleeping in the car." I'm like, "Why are you doing that? Why are you sleeping in the car?" She's like, "Lost a cockroach in the house." I'm like, you
I've
know
done
what?
that with spiders.
Valid. Oh, she's done that. Spiders are at least 3 to 4 times. She's like, sleeping in the car at night.
What are they gonna do
Yep.
to you? They're not gonna do anything.
They're creepy.
And
Oh,
what are
they're
they
gonna
gonna do?
They're gonna get in your orifices.
Yeah,
Is
they're
that-
gonna
why
crawl
was-
on your
Climb-
nose.
They
and you're
don't.
gonna
They don't
swallow
want to
them.
do that. Hey,
But
Blizzard,
they
welcome in.
do it.
They don't want that. They're gonna stay away from
They
your
do it.
hot. They're gonna stay away
They
from
don't stay away though.
Yeah,
No,
Look
they
it
like
up.
the
There
moisture,
are
the
statistics
hot
about
moisture.
it. Like how many spiders on average a year that humans swallow.
That's bullshit.
Because they will
That-
just
No,
climb
no,
into your
that's
nose.
actually bullshit.
it-
Yeah,
Is
It's
it bullshit?
100%.
Because this has scared me my whole life.
That's 100%. Yeah,
This is
I don't know where
freaking
that
me out.
apocryphal shit came from, but like, yeah, it circulated. It's a very funny anecdote, but it's not true. No one's eating
Oh my god, I
spiders
would
at
love
night.
to debunk. I would love
Hey,
that.
what kind of a species would adapt to crawl into mouths and die? Think about that. Because there are a lot more
Mouths,
hot
noses.
mouths in the wild than human mouths. There are a lot more hot holes in the wild they'll get eaten in. Like every fucking creature has a mouth out there. They're crawling in bear mouths and horse mouths. And congratulations, spiders. You've evolved yourselves out of existence. Guess what spiders are left? The only spiders that are left are the ones that don't crawl into mouths. I'm glad we had this talk.
That makes me so
I mean,
happy. I've
honestly,
been
that's
scared
not
for
the
a while.
reason. That's not the reason for me. It's just a freaking ridiculous phobia that I've had where like I've literally closed off a room to the house because I'm like, nope, there was a gross thing in there and now I don't know where it is and I'm too scared to like kill it or release it or do anything anyways. So now that my son is the age that he is my resident spider rescuer where he will like
Aw.
collect it and bring it outside.
That's a
Yay.
nice little dream. But I think the last time we had to kill a spider was actually on collab. If y'all remember that one time I had to turn my camera off, me and Katie, it was on the top of the ceiling and I think it was Grob that was like, if you unscrew your mop and you put like paper towels on the bottom of it and then you use that to like hit the wall, then you'll be able to kill it. You won't have to hit it to let it drop down. I mean, can I tell you that 2 24-year-olds sat cowering under this mop, this makeshift
God.
mop, squishing device, and we
thing.
both held it as we counted to 3 and thrust it upward. And then when we knew we killed it, we knew we had got it. We sat there for another minute, being like, "What if?" For some reason,
It's like it's
it
like a
didn't get
real
killed.
like reaction though for me. Like if I can't even watch somebody collecting a spider from the ceiling because if they miss and
Yeah.
it falls, I will
oh no,
gag.
we were
Literal,
both
like,
we were both under the greatest understanding that if we missed, everyone was on their own and we would be running. It's a fight for your own life.
Everyone's on their own.
we would
Last person
just
out of the house is
flee.
spider dinner.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of roaches can carry diseases and stuff, so you do want to like actually call an exterminator to deal with that if it's a problem, and they're hard to get rid of. You definitely want help if you see more than one roach anywhere. But like for poor spiders, they're just helpful. They just kill shit in the house you don't want in the house.
I know.
See, that's why I don't kill them. And it's weird too, because I'm fine if I'm outside and they're outside for the most part.
That's their home. I don't bother them
When they're in
home.
here, it's like there's something in my brain that's like, they're not supposed to be in here. This is supposed to be my reprieve.
They came into my domain.
But I do try not to kill them because, well, first of all, I can't do it because especially if it's large enough to make a sound, if you kill it, I cannot.
No.
Oh my God.
I don't like that.
Jesus.
Cannot do it.
What?
But for the most part, like, I do realize that they are like living creatures that do a lot of helpful things. So like, I am just not going to be the one that rescues them and brings them outside. It's not going to be me. It's going to be somebody else.
I don't know if anybody else was told this. When like some spiders are indeed dangerous. Like brown recluse. I don't know how much we actually have these things around us, but when I was young, I had the fear of spiders like instilled in me. Like when parents do the thing of like, don't touch the spider. This is the bad spider. Like Black Widow. Like if you see the hourglass, don't touch it.
Yeah.
I feel like mine was intense. They were like, if this bites you, you die where you stand.
Oh God.
And I was like, cool, spiders are deadly.
I mean, just the black widows are dangerous, and brown recluse have a bit of a scary bite, yes. But they're very rare. They don't live anywhere around here. So if you're all moving to the Northeast, congratulations. The odds of seeing a widow or
I'm so excited.
or a recluse are super short. I don't think recluses exist here at all. And I think the odds of I don't know if there are black widows around. I've never seen one in my life. I just know what they look like because everyone has to kind of know what they look like, you know.
Huh.
I've seen a recluse.
Are they like?
But yeah, you don't want to. Those are scary too.
Peace up.
I'm like generally okay with certain kinds of them too, like the little tiny jumping spiders. Like
those
they're
are
too
fine.
Cute.
Yeah.
To be scary, and then for whatever
Those
reason
get a
there was
pass.
a specific kind, and I'm not entirely sure what they're called. I feel like I screw it up every time, but like there was this specific kind that would like always have webs in the like corner of the stairs outside of the house that I grew up in, and they would like basically stay inside of like a little hole, and if you like threw something on their web, they'd come speeding out like super fast because they think it's a bug. And I used to love like just like tossing little like blades of grass and stuff on just to make it go, like, and then it would just get like mad and go back in its hole.
Poor spiders.
Spider gaslighting. Poor spider.
Spider gaslighting.
I'm not sure I can do that anymore because like the fear has intensified over the but
there was a giant
those
spider.
are wood spiders, I think, Captain Adam. I think those were wood spiders. They were, oh my God, that thing was like this big with leg span.
Yeah, the bigger they are, I mean, the less dangerous they are for some reason.
They're so creepy.
Wait, really?
I mean, I don't know how true that is statistically, but like, so for instance, the giant spiders that live under toilets and shit in Australia are like the best spiders in the house. They just let them live there because they eat the smaller, way more deadly spiders that live around there.
Like a pet? Like they're just like, yeah, it's just my spider. He's just here. He lives in this house.
Yeah, the other Chat Blizzard. I mean, I don't know what you mean by the other two. Do you mean Fraggy and Quinn? I mean,
I will say,
Oh, yes.
I don't know. Have I ever told y'all about my one singular time? Because I grew up in the South and had to go join a hunting trip one time in my existence. Did I tell you my spider story from that?
no.
Very, very long story short.
Why did they make you go hunting?
It was way back in the day when me and my wife first started dating, and she still did that. Like her family was just big in hunting. We grew up in the South, and that's just kind of like you go hunting on the weekend. I don't know, have no idea.
But they made you and Katie go, or did Katie make you go? Like, what was the?
Katie did like go hunting in her like younger like years, and I think she actually stopped around high school. But the one time before she stopped in high school, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with you. You've made it real convincing with the, like, you go out in the nature times and the sun comes up and it's woods. And I'm like, sounds appealing. I like the woods and nature times, and sounds like it'd be peaceful. And super long story short, we get to the whatever hunting stand.
Right.
I forgot what the thing that you go sit in to wait for the. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
like
yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're called, but those like high platforms in the trees, right? Is that what you mean?
We had one on the ground, like essentially
ground,
that, but
okay.
like on the ground. And I remember getting in there. Number one, hated it. I didn't realize I was gonna have to march through the freezing cold woods at 5 a.m. Already upset.
Oh, so
And
appealing.
then I was so upset. It was not what I thought it was gonna be. And then we get to this like little wooden box, has like a little heater in it. I'm like, okay, this is slightly better. It's I don't like that I'm up this early and it's cold still and it's wet and I don't like the whole premise of what we're doing. But I'm here in the woods supporting my partner. Yeah. We're here doing it. And I remember at one point, an hour in, there was a spider. Huge spider. Massive spider in the thing.
Mhm.
And me and my wife, being very terrified of spiders, we're like, well, can't be in here anymore. So we leave the little like stand thing. And I was like, all right, I guess we go home now. And she was like, oh, no, that's not how it works. We're here for another like 3 hours. And I was like, so the spider gets the warm heater and stand. And we sit on the cold ground. And she said,
wait.
yep. And I said, phalid. And
You-
that was the end of it.
You were hunting. Didn't you have a gun? Just go in there and
Oh, I
fuck
don't-
that spider up. What the hell? Like, sure, the little shit's got 8 legs, but you have this fucking, like, you can send a goddamn piece of metal at crazy high velocity. Like, what is that thing gonna do? You walk in there, you hold that thing like this, you say, take this sucker. I know it's a rifle, but hold the rifle like that so the spider knows you mean fucking business.
Oh my god.
It would have just ran away. It would have scampered.
Pro tip: do not hold a hunting rifle that way.
No, yeah, don't go hunting.
Maybe-
Well,
maybe-
no, because I don't like
Pro tip,
hunting. Is
don't go
very
hunting.
useful for don't go hunt. For food purpose times, like I get, but like I hate hunting. I just like
It's not
I
for
don't
me.
like
either.
gun.
It's not for me. Yeah.
or yeah.
It's like the
For food
one use
times,
case for
valid.
guns that's maybe okay, but we don't have a culture where I trust anybody that owns firearms anymore. So it's like,
Yeah.
this is the dark world we live in.
But that was my spider story. I got kicked out of this tiny little house thing with a heater because there was a spider in it, and we sat on the ground for 3 more hours.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That's totally valid though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would have
Wait, what?
absolutely probably done the
Chase the
same
little
thing.
fucker out of there. Oh,
Nope,
man. I'm
that's
so
not
No,
how
he
it
sorry.
owned
works
it.
when you have
You
a
don't
very, very
understand.
real fear of these things.
I mean, I
Like,
can see
He-
that.
it makes 0 sense, but it's there.
Phobias are like that.
They
that's fair.
own the web was sprawled across the top like they owned it.
Ugh.
That was
Did you
their house
actually
now.
see any deer? Did the spider catch any deer?
The spider did not catch any deer. I did see one deer. We did. I don't think it was the deer that was allowed at that point. I don't know how hunting works, but it was the not allowed
Those are the
deer.
rules. Were you
Not
were you
allowed
offsides? The referee comes out and says, offsides. The deer's like, yeah, fuck you, hunters. Gives you the finger, walks off. You're like, how did the deer give us the finger? What? I guess we got to go home. We got yellow carded. Did you come home and tell everybody?
The
Yeah,
not
we got
allowed.
yellow
That's-
carded. And
that's
everyone's
great.
like, yeah, it always happens your first time.
I was so I it was a wild adventure. I will never do it again. I also didn't touch any guns. I refused to. I was like, I'll sit here in my booth until until the spider chased us out. Then I was like, I'll sit here on the ground holding the sleeve for 3 hours.
You say until the spider chases us out, and I have this amazing visual in my head of you and Katie like running out of this little thing, and this like little spider just being like,
Welcome back.
"I just want to be friends."
Can we be friends, you and me? What? I got you a newspaper because I know you like to read, right?
Oh,
I'll give you Look at me, I'm friend-shaped. Not if you don't
I'm
want to.
friend shaped. They had too many legs to be friend shaped. Yeah.
There's a leg
Friend-shaped.
requirement.
Why
There's
is
a leg minimum. for friendship.
Oh no, don't leg max the poor spiders. That's so sad. That's like the saddest thing I've ever heard. Spiders
I-
can't be
I like
friendship
that.
because they have
Saddest
too
thing
many
you've ever heard.
legs.
I do know that daddy long legs are also considered spiders, and they are good spiders. They are good boys.
I used to that was
I
another
accept
spider that
them.
when I was a kid I used to be able to like be okay around, but they would always be on the swing set and I would like take the this is me gaslighting
Aw.
spiders again. I would take like a little blade of grass and like kind of tickle them and they would like go
It's always the
crazy. And I was
grass.
like,
Aw.
that's delish.
No wonder you're
Oh,
afraid
wait,
of
that's so
spiders. They have it in
cute.
for you now. They have a grudge to settle with you. They're like, they want
Probably.
to come to get you.
Jumping spiders are friends. I agree with they
You,
are
you
so
just
cute.
said 8 legs means not friend shaped. Now you got all these exceptions.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Quinn said that. Okay, 8 legs is too many legs, and the jumping spider, they are the exception. to
Jumping
the rule.
spiders are friend spiders. They're acceptable. Jumping spiders and daddy long legs are acceptable. Also, I looked up where I was looking up where brown recluses are most commonly found, and I don't like that this thing doesn't give me like a region. It just says they can be found in everything. It starts out with like outside, in bark and in piles of debris, and then it moves to just be like, but everywhere as well.
Oh my god.
I mean, they
I
get
don't
around in
like
shipping
that.
containers and stuff, and so that's why they can kind of show up anywhere technically. But
Oh, I think this is
Don't
why
like
I'm
that.
scared of brown recluses, because I just found a little map,
Mhm.
and lo and behold, guess where the largest vicinity of brown recluses can apparently be found? In what looks like Louisiana, Texas, and everything in its vicinity.
oh yeah,
Like
get out of
that
there.
close little, yeah. Another reason to not go to the South Times. There's recluses there. Don't go there.
Ugh. Have you ever seen, I think it's the recluses, but have you ever seen any of those things where like there's like an infestation of them and it's just web like everywhere? Like I feel like I saw one that was like in some kind of a factory where like they closed for I don't know, maybe a week or something, and they came back and there was nothing left but web everywhere.
No.
That's, I mean, so look, flamethrowers are illegal for warfare and fighting against humans because of the Geneva Convention, right? They're a really horrible weapon. They're also not tactically valuable because we used to use them to clear bunkers. That was the idea. This is a horrible story. If you all want to like mute the stream, I'll wave my hands when this horrible stream is over. We're going to talk about horrible death in World War I. And these devices, you had to wear a giant tank of fuel on your back. It was good for 1 or 2 bunkers. And if you ran up on a bunker, someone would open the door and you would use the flamethrower to fill the bunker with fire and kill everyone inside. Because it would it was like this jelly fuel bullshit, and it would like burn really hot, really fast, and suck all the oxygen out. So they'd have to run out through the fire and then either burn to death or get shot. That was the idea, which is, I mean, already someone who invented this weapon is just fucked up. Right. But also it's really impractical because you're carrying this thing around. The heavy weapons person on your team isn't carrying a machine gun or a grenade launcher, something way more useful. They have this giant thing, which is just for clearing a bunker, which you can also do with a grenade. And any person in the unit can have a grenade or 2 on their hip for the same job. Pull the pin, throw it in, boom. Okay, the bunker's clear. Right. That was that. Flamethrowers are no good for combat, and also it's a horrible way to die. But very useful for dealing with lots of spiders like that. Go in there with the fucking flamethrower and light those webs up. That will take care of the spiders.
Yeah.
I mean, I would absolutely, I would approve that because, oh my god.
I was looking for spider webs to see, and as one would, I looked up brown recluse web and clicked on images, and I have skeeved myself out now.
Yep.
So
Oh my
I
god, it's
immediately
so
closed the
You can do
tab.
that.
So
Because I wanted to see the
Hey,
webs.
Ashcott. All right, when we come back, we won't talk about spiders anymore, I promise. This is, I
No
guess,
more
probably
spiders.
one more
wait,
ad
did we
break. Go and stretch your legs, get something to drink, get yourself some seltzer. It's good stuff. I understand. I like it. And
yes.
nothing interesting is happening behind the scenes here. You're not missing anything
would
other
never.
than pre-rolls being deactivated and me making no money because Twitch loves me. I'm getting better at timing that.
That's very true. Twitch is like a whole nickel, a whole 5 cent for ads. And we're like, thanks, Twitch.
Seriously.
I am very glad, I'll say again, to have debunked the spider mouth thing. I can
Yes.
rest, like, I can't tell you how many times I'll be like, I'll wake up and just be like, I know I didn't swallow a spider, but it's on the back of my brain.
If you did,
Well, 'cause some-
walk through that, Quinn. If you swallowed the spider, what's going to happen to that spider?
It would probably dissolve in my the stomach acid.
Have you seen Star Wars?
A little bit.
No, Return of the Jedi. No, the Sarlacc pit.
I don't think so.
Okay, if you don't want to get eaten by, have you seen Nope?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm trying to think of like, I mean, it's not like Jonah and the whale or whatever. Like you get swallowed and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You just you get raffle stomped by mussels and then digested by some crazy powerful acid. It's not a way forward for the spider.
Me to get there.
No, the spider's dead.
But it would have had to have gone in. It would have had, yeah. I'm not
It
talking
would-
about
are you
spiders 'cause I said
saying-
we were-
Are you saying it would have had to have evolved to do this?
No, it would have
Because-
had to have been at least in my house.
In fact,
I
it
would have cried
evolved
already.
To not do this.
I would have cried already.
If there was an insect on Earth that had evolved to crawl into our mouths and was everywhere, there would be product on every wall, every shelf in fucking Walmart and Stop
you
and
know
Shop to
what?
buy and deal with it.
You're right.
They
That
would
actually makes
absolutely
me feel
monetize
so
that fear
much
if it was
better.
real. I mean, think about that.
You're so right.
There'd be treatments for people who swallowed them. Like there'd be medications you could take to deal with it. Like it would be a known thing by now.
Yeah.
We're
That's,
not-
yeah.
If everyone's swallowing
couldn't see them
spiders,
passing
it's
that up.
harmless, and we know they're not. We know they're not. So there you are. No more workers. Spiders good. Elon Musk could sell
Wow, we
flamethrowers.
learned so much.
If Elon Musk could do anything effectively, that would be the one thing he might try to do. What happened
That's
to
true.
America? I don't even know.
Not the spiders, apparently.
Spiders.
But we said we weren't going to talk about spiders, but in realness,
True.
spiders
No.
do actually do a lot. They kill a lot of creatures that like are bad.
Yeah, they could
So.
that shit.
They do. I wish, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are probably some that there must be some that take care of ticks. I wish there were more things that ate ticks. I wish there were less ticks.
Could do with less ticks. It's really like, is it thyme oil? Thyme oil, they don't like that shit. Other stuff you can spray outside.
Thyme oil?
They kind of bug out, yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think
if you
I've-
call like an exterminator or someone who'll spray your yard, you can ask them for something that's kid safe, and will literally spray an herbal remedy all over your fucking yard that will work on ticks and mosquitoes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's like there's some that will do like garlic, I want to say, which I wouldn't hate because I love the smell of garlic.
Right.
But
Oh, garlic.
I've never tried any of
vampire
it.
ticks.
Right? Oh god, I just
don't
don't
think
want
I've-
them to
I think I've-
exist.
Only handled a tick once or twice in my existence. I don't even think I know like how to tell if a tick is in my vicinity.
Every time I say this, I get worried that I'm going to like tempt fate. But I think I don't taste good to ticks. I've never once. I've been in a lot of situations where everyone around me has gotten ticks, and I have not.
Maybe
They
you don't taste
generally
ticks.
they're not it's not generally a vicinity thing, Quinn. It's usually they end up on you.
Oh.
Like it's very rare that I've like been somewhere where I'm like, oh, there's one crawling around. Like sometimes it happens in the house because like the animals might bring them in,
Mhm.
and they drop before like they've had a chance to like bite the animal because the medication, the tick medication and stuff. But yeah, they're a lot, and a lot of the
Oh.
times it's like for us like our kiddos go to an after school program and they spend a lot of time outside, and there's a lot of undeveloped land on purpose because of like wildlife and stuff like that. So like it's a habitual thing that we tick check the kids. I mean, just in general, because we are in a more rural area too, and it's a matter of like you find them. Gross.
Do you feel them?
Not all the time, because they can be very
Ah.
tiny. So like my son had Lyme disease, and I know that we had pulled one that had embedded off of him, but I don't quite think the timeline was right for when he got sick. So it's very likely that the one that bit him, we never even.
Oh. Huh.
It's crazy. And the one that I actually had, I think it's a variation of Lyme, but Borrelia, I think is what it's called.
Mm.
And it could have been from the one that I found, which was so tiny, and the only reason that I even on my hand, embedded in my hand, and as I was driving, and I was like,
Oh.
oh god. So, and I don't know if it was from that one that kind of works, but I had spent I got that one at LARPing, so I had spent the weekend in the woods, so it's possible that there had been one at some other point that like I never
gotcha.
saw. But yeah, they're
I'm assuming they do this like tiny little black dots like on you.
yeah, and some of them, like I said, they vary in size. So some of them are like the size of a freckle. Some of them, if they're that like
Oh.
the deer ticks are small, and they're the ones that tend to carry Lyme much more.
Mm.
And if they're like babies, because the baby ones bite too, like
Mm.
they can literally just be a tiny dot. But like I feel like more so often we have found like the dog ticks, which are bigger, they're much easier to see. But it's like
Gotcha.
it's consistent throughout the warm months here because
Hmm.
we have woods behind us and like the kids play
Yeah.
outside, and I hate them so much.
I am now realizing a new fear that I have is that I don't know if ticks are on me.
Oh no.
I'm assuming not, but that is my new fear.
So it's
Oh my
really
God.
easy though, just to like the main thing so there are things that you can do that are preventative, like you can use permethrin on your clothing before you go camping and stuff, because they do tend to be in more like wooded areas and stuff like that, and you can spray your shoes with it, and if you're camping you can spray like your tent at the bottom. It's like scentless once it dries.
That's cool.
And it kills them on contact. So like if they try to like climb up your shoe and you have
Mhm.
permethrin on it, they will just die.
Oh, dang.
And then there are mosquito repellents and stuff that work too for your skin. And then if like if you spend some time in the woods, you just like you strip all your clothes off, throw them right in the wash, and just do like a full body check. Make sure you like rub your hands through your hair and stuff, because usually you'll be able to at least feel them as you do those kinds
Okay.
of things. So yeah, it's not, like I said, there are tiny ones, but I don't know how like super common those really are. And it's
God.
it's
The
just a
more
thing
you
that we've
know.
had to get used to here because there are ridiculous amounts of them.
The more you know. I will be tick prepared.
Makes me miss the city.
I don't know if I would. I think I would take the ticks over the city.
Iceland.
I kind of so the city that we used to live in was not like a city. It was like just a little bit more city than the area that we're in now, but so it wasn't like like New York thing. But
if you can become fluent in Icelandic, you can attempt to immigrate to Iceland. And in Iceland, they do not have insects.
What?
None. No bugs.
Why? Wait, like not like none, like none.
No bugs. No bugs. There are no insects in Iceland.
Let's go.
I mean, it means
Iceland actually like not cold and Greenland's the cold?
Yeah, well, they're both cold. Iceland has like 55-degree summers. I mean, it might be different now thanks to the fuck up of the planet. I'm not sure how their climate's changed like ours has, but like they have flash blizzards like we have like flash storms. Like all of a sudden it'll just snow in the middle of summer. And in the winter, everyone gets snowed in under many, many feet and you just can't go anywhere.
Okay.
If I don't mind being snowed in if I don't have to go anywhere. Like that, I don't mind.
And no bugs.
But it's very, very rare that that's actually the case.
Snowed in and no bugs.
And the opposite of no bugs, someone in chat said that something about mosquito nets, and I was reminded of one of the worst jobs. I don't remember the other worst jobs. This is one that always stuck with me, and the people who had ranked this list put this at the top. And so there is a job that you can get to be a test subject for mosquito repellent. And the way they test mosquito repellent is they spray it on you, and they put you in a tent that's only a little bit bigger than you can stand in, and they flood the tent with mosquitoes. And then
I bet none of them would work on me.
Hang on. And so it gets worse than this. And so like you have the repellent on you, and you step out, and they count how many bites you got, and that's how good the repellent is. And if you got like, very few bites to no bites, they're like, we did it. The repellent works. But in order to make sure this works, the job that's the worst is the control group. You step into the tent without repellent, and they flood it with mosquitoes to see how many bites you get, which is
that's awful.
in the thousands of bites.
No, thank you. How well does that
I hate
pay?
that.
It's like the worst fucking thing I could think of. Step into this bag, see, yeah, and we're hanging. Just keep your voice down.
Step into this
Was
bag,
it
see,
a
yeah.
blind
We're gonna
study, or
flood
you
it.
knew you were the control?
Mosquitoes. They're gonna want to cuddle
Oh,
right up on you,
God.
give you mooches. Lots of
It is like
mosquito mooches.
almost a guarantee that
Mosquito mooches.
I will find the first mosquito of
I'm crying.
season. It'll be March.
Oh, they'll
and I will
find
get bit
you.
by a
It's like
mosquito.
they've been looking for you.
It's me. I am incredibly delicious to mosquitoes. Apparently,
I gotta add a mosquito
it's
redeem.
awful.
Can
No,
become a
no.
mosquito.
I had to plug the screen of mosquito.
Mosquito for
Oh
Fragile.
God, I hate them.
If you don't want to deal with really high pitched Fraggy sounds, please mute the stream for yourselves. I'm gonna do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please, someone in chat say I'm done doing the horrible high sounds.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Quinny.
Fucking mosquitoes.
No high.
Sorry. I thought it too late.
I mean, if you all want to get high watching this stream, I'm honored, but I don't get it. Hang on, I know how to get it. Here, let me help. I have a button for that.
no high
Okay,
sound.
so if you've had a couple of the brownies now, you might be thinking, "Wow, it's working." Because like, look how fucked up this is. I had no idea. This is absolutely working for me. How many of those things did I have? So like 7? Was it 7? I mean, does it
Don't
matter
think
how many
7.
I had? How
Yes.
many of them had me? Oh. Do they
If you're
know
asking
I
that
ate
question, you've had too many.
them? I feel bad for them though, you know, because like they bring me so much joy, and I brought them darkness and acidic death. That's heartless of me.
Acidic death.
It's what it is. They're just like melting inside of me, and my mind is melting inside of me, and the melting is melting inside of me. Whoa. Maybe I shouldn't have had
Does
7
that
of
mean it's
these.
turning back to? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to follow through that one. We're gonna back it up. We're gonna back it up.
Back it up, back it up, back it up.
The
say it
circle
on
of
the-
brownies.
Do we do the last
Daddy
ad break?
taught
Yeah.
me good. Oh, hi, Frost. So what's happening here is that someone watching chat and stream had too many edibles. And this is the consequence.
It's the consequence.
This is the
Or the
consequence.
reward. Depends on how you look at it.
Another way to look at this is that this is totally normal. Everything's fine and under control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was expired brownies. Truly, just expired.
fine.
Nothing
Are they
else.
expired?
It's fine.
Is it melting inside right now? This is the best screen that has ever been on my stream right now. Take a moment there. Everyone look at this and recognize that this is the coolest shit we have ever done on stream.
This is true.
I'm pretty happy about this. 10 out of 10. Come back, follow Thadeshammer. If you're thinking that you kind of like the drugs, but they're expensive, and you'd like to be able to drive after your experience, don't buy those. Just watch this shit. And then after the stream, you still can't drive, really. In fact, I hate to tell you all this, but if you have observed this stream tonight, you can never operate heavy machinery ever
Good
again.
night.
Oh, that's fine.
This is under control,
Yeah.
actually.
It's worth it.
Oh, pay no
It's worth
attention to the wishing camera over there. That's not no one's over there.
Aww.
Wait, what? Wait, I like that you're. Yes.
I think Thaddeus broke this scene. Does anyone want to tell him
I
that
love
that
this.
camera
I love
is
this so
absolutely
much.
fucked up?
Oh my god! Somebody click
No,
this.
don't say anything.
It's too late.
Don't. It's perfect. It doesn't. It's not broken. It's exactly what it needs to be.
It's
It
the way
is
it's been the whole
exactly what it
time.
needs to be.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
That is
You-
hilarious.
Wait, you just scoot that camera in the wishing cam slightly. You just start cropping it out. Just
Oh, this
pay
is
no
even
attention.
better. Have a look at this right there. That's good. Fraggy, you gotta go.
Oh, that's solid.
Go right behind your microphone.
I'm trying.
I like that your head is.
We did it. This is actually. Oh wow, my camera is more cursed than it's ever been. Like I didn't realize it would be this bad.
I do like my tiny camera. I'm just
Oh
chilling in my camera. on the
gosh.
side.
So
I'm chilling.
this is absolutely the worst thing I've ever done. I want to take this opportunity to apologize to you all right now. I had no idea that this would happen this way. Now you want to glitch the stream? Now you want to glitch it? Do you not recognize what's happened here?
I like the slight. I like the green in the nose times. It's like glitching in slightly if you
Mhm.
hold it at a certain area.
Well, I guess this means the drugs are still working. So that's positive.
Terror! Terror! Terror!
Chaos void.
Chaos! Chaos!
Did it
Oh,
make
we got a little
rainbows?
pause.
You've looked like you've
Oh.
had a brownie.
Hang on, everybody.
Why do you look like this? Hey, Miss
Maze on overdrive.
Maison, her eyes are wide. Her eyes are big.
Overdrive times.
Overdrive? She can't say her. She's avoiding the night. Hey, can you give me any? No, all right.
Does anyone need us to stop the ride so you can get off? Is that?
No.
Okay.
This is a one-way pass. You don't stop the ride.
I mean, I'm just
Oh,
for
no.
safety's sake. I want to make sure everyone's okay. You know.
That's true. Don't worry. There's a big fluffy foam kind of like squishy thing. You just hop off at any time.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
Also,
Trampoline.
I want to assure
Every time.
everyone that before we close the show tonight, Fraggy will very clearly explain everything that has happened so that if you don't understand, you definitely will.
That is a terrible idea.
Or the best. Or the best.
Oh, yeah, I could explain that. We're getting a fox.
Yes, I was hoping you would say fox. I was about to say it. I'm so happy.
This is a gross misinterpretation of my remarks.
Foxes
You
are
wanted
cool.
me to explain.
So
And the pros and
congratulations,
cons list do
Fraggy.
not lie.
Fraggy is going to get
You
her
are
new
forgetting
fox.
how I operate.
Yeah, well, now we know. We've always
I
been
hear
this
what
as
I
a
want
risk.
to hear.
Capital.
Yeah. Would anyone in chat like to
Only-
express
only with
concerns about
Echo.
Fraggy's choices?
Echo and I
the
are going to run around the world in a hamster ball together.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. Yo, this
No,
is
you can't do that.
happening.
We could get hamster. You could
We-
literally get like a hamster ball.
We decided this on Fraggy's stream, and then we all agreed and ratified it in Never Living stream. So the original plan was, and well, I guess let's really finalize
No, it
things.
was lost.
tonight.
It was lost.
Hang on,
to
I
me.
want to mute Fraggy. No offense, everybody. I want to turn her down, and so like, let's all talk about what we're gonna do. Okay.
I'll relay.
So the choices are, and Capitom seems like he's on board for this. So we either knock out a section of ceiling in Fraggy's bedroom, and then we put in a giant hamster wheel for Fraggy to run in. Okay, that's option one, and then we stream that shit. Option two, and this is something that Fraggy actually said she would prefer, by the way. Option two is we get her a giant inflated hamster ball. You've seen these things, right? And we put her in it, and she's going to run cross country while Echo follows her in a car and then, like, takes video of her, and we stream her crossing the country as Bubble Fraggy. So now we are going to decide, all together, we will use the power of democracy. Democracy will decide what will Fraggy do? And your options are giant hamster wheel or giant hamster ball or the special option. And you probably all know what the special option is, of course. It's the option that we all need to have. Prepare thyself for democracy! Vote now! All possible options are here. I'll allow Fraggy to speak. Thank you for that follow, Blizzard. I've turned my chat back up. So now...
Why is it fixed for hamster ball?
Oh my gosh, it's already a landslide for hamster ball.
Why would we not vote both? You can have two.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
want a wheel. I am not a hamster.
I'm doing both.
But think about it. Think about how dope it would be. It'd be like a treadmill, but you'd never have to plug it in.
I
That's
don't
what I'm
like
saying.
treadmills.
Right. But you'd like the hamster
And
ball.
then you could dead stop, and it would spin you.
Right.
I
So
would
fucking cool.
run in a hamster ball.
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
with Daddy.
Like you could take that on the water. That would be fun. Like run on the water.
Oh, but what if no? That would
Echo
scare
said
me.
he was going to do it with me, and that's the only thing that makes it okay.
I would be scared about the bubble on the water. What if it popped and you got to get out of it?
It's a moneymaker. It's gonna pay
Yeah,
for
it's
our big gay commune.
It's a plastic ball.
That's how we fund the big gay
That's
commune.
what I'm saying. Fraggy, it's a moral imperative for you to do this. You have to do it.
We used to try to swim to the Pacific.
Okay, Quinn, apparently you're in on this too. So it's Quinn and Fraggy running in giant hamster balls with Echo in the car
Wheel.
following him.
No, Echo
Actually,
wants-
let's just
Echo's
get
on a ball
Echo a
too.
Harley. Echo's in a Harley, okay? Well, Echo follows up with the fucking Harley to make sure
Why
that
are
Fraggy
you
and Quinn
taking
are
the
okay.
hamster ball away from Echo?
Oh, we don't want Echo to get hurt. Come on. Jeez. Keep up, Fraggy. What the heck? Jeez.
Wait, somebody clip both me and Fred's reaction.
Rude! So rude!
It's just the way this has got to work.
Nobody ever said anything about Echo in a car. We were gonna be bubble buddies.
No one ever said Echo was going in the bubble, and since you all left it to my decision,
did.
I have arranged
That was
this for you.
decided.
Well, we don't
on
have funding for
last
3 bubbles,
stream.
Fraggy. There are 2 bubbles, you and Quinn. The Harley's taking the rest of the budget.
The Harley is in the budget. Somebody needs to ride the Harley.
It's
The
Echo,
Harley
it's
has
gotta be
already
Echo.
been
Echo's
purchased.
gonna look
So
awesome
you
on that
can
fucking
run
bike.
in my bubble with me, friend. We will bubble
I-
together.
Want to be in the bubble. We can get 3. We can wait. I got it.
Echo,
We
you
sell
have to
the
be on
Harley,
the Harley.
and we get another bubble.
Yes.
You want to sell the Harley?
Solid plan.
Quinn,
Yes.
we haven't
For a
even
bubble?
bought the Harley. If we buy the Harley and sell it, we'll take a
I thought we
loss.
did buy the Harley. I thought that's why Echo was riding the Harley because we already bought the Harley, and somebody's got to ride the Harley.
Yeah, look, okay, let's just real
Not if we
talk,
sell it.
everybody. Real talk. It's important here. Everyone come in close, okay? This is important. I'm only going to say this once, all right?
Why did both not win? I'm conflicted.
The only way,
I need Chat's answer.
the only way we are going to get funding for this is if Echo's on that fucking motorcycle and Fraggy's in the hamster ball. Quinn in a hamster ball is just for me. I'm gonna chip in for the extra hamster ball, but the investors really want to see Echo on the Harley, so we gotta give it to him. I'm so sorry, Echo. You can like get
Investors.
once Fraggy makes it to the West Coast, or let's be really
Then
frank
you tag
here.
team in
Once
Vancouver.
Fraggy passes out after getting out of town from where she lives, you can get in a
That's
hamster
being
ball.
very generous. I'll pass out at the end of the street.
Bubble justice for Echo. I mean, if y'all want to try to find different investors to get behind this, that's fine. I just took the people that got stoned on my stream. They were easy to manipulate. I guess in retrospect, I could
Yeah,
have
there you
put that
go,
money to
Thades.
something
You
better.
can drive. You can drive the heart.
Me?
Yep.
I'm not going on this trip. That's crazy.
Wait, if you drive the if you drive the Harley, we can get me a sidecar. I can ride with you, and Echo can have bubble.
Oh my god. Can we have capes? If we can have capes, that changes this. That
We
changes
can have
this.
capes.
Fuck
We
yeah.
can absolutely have capes.
All right,
Can you
Fraggy.
imagine this scene
All right, Echo.
on the road? Could you just just do me a favor and envision this for a moment.
Oh my god, I'm having so
Dad,
much
if
fun
we ever
envisioning it.
drop
That's
an
the whole
album
point.
together, it needs to be caped motorcycles.
Yes, caped motorcycles. That's right. For
No.
the excitement.
It needs to be you both in caves, but Quinn on the motorcycle and Thades in the
I'll take the sidecar. Fuck yeah.
That's what it needs to be.
Echo and
Can we have the little
Fraggy are going in
goggles?
the hamster balls. You demanded it. You getting it. Nice work, everybody. We have a plan.
Oh, we would have to, Ash. We would have to slightly alter the capes to be a little bit smaller, or maybe we can have like a quick string to like tie them up.
How fast do you think we're gonna go on the Harley, everybody?
What if it's
So
just like
fast.
a little tiny? Well, yeah, it's true. They're not going to be going fast because they're going to be behind.
We're with the
Echo
hamster
and I.
balls. We're gonna be going like.
Oh.
I mean, we'll just be moving the bike with our legs. We're not even turning the fucking engine on. We will outpace Fraggy real fast if we go too fast with the legs. But I'm in the
bottom of
sidecar,
this-
so really it's just Quinn doing the Flintstone thing while Fraggy pants and sweats to death, rolling down the hill in the hamster ball. Echo desperately trying to race to catch and save Fraggy, thinking, how am I going to grab Fraggy? I don't have hands. They put me in the hamster ball. God damn it, Sadie's tried to get me out of the hamster ball, and I condemned myself to the hamster ball, and now Fraggy is doomed. Fraggy is doomed because of me!
And there is a fox in the hamster ball too. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What the? No, we can't, but that's endangerment of an animal. We can't endanger an animal, Fraggy.
Oh my god, can you imagine just running next to us? The cutest thing.
Why would
Be so happy.
No,
Happy
it would
fox.
be an unhappy fox watching you die in a hamster ball. It's like not what the
The fox.
hamster
Wait,
God.
I got it. The fox would be on the back of the motorcycle with a helmet.
Yes. With a cape.
Okay. All right, hear me out here. I have an idea that's not going to involve us having to pay for a fox, endanger a fox, or train a fox.
I'm losing it.
We have among our number a fox-sized animal that we can use green screen tech and a big fan to make it look like Shorty is on the motorcycle. The little ears flapping
Right.
behind him. Mm-hmm.
No, Dad is in the sidecar. Dad is in the sidecar.
Dad and Shorty are in the sidecar. Mhm.
Okay, but then the fox can still ride on the back of the motorcycle.
No. The fox and Shorty will not get along.
But they'll be separated.
By what, like a few inches? The sidecar is right fucking on top of the bike, Fraggy. Have you ever been in a sidecar?
Fox has to hold on.
That's
to
why
Quinn.
you're going in the hamster
It
ball,
can't do
Fraggy.
anything.
I could have him in a backpack.
Okay, done.
A fox pack.
That's fine. No, put it in my backpack.
Did y'all actually take brownies? Because I'm convinced.
Oh, this is just me.
No, this is
This
just
is
straight.
me.
This
Yeah,
is just.
this is actually pretty normal. Yeah, totally normal.
This is the normal brand of
I'm
chaos.
gonna lean over to the side here because that camera over there is like doing weird shit. I don't know.
I have to. I feel like I have to routinely tell people that like, this is nothing. This is just there's no intoxication level. This is just
Mhm.
what you get.
Mhm.
I was thinking about having a beer before
What'd you get?
stream, and then I didn't. Here we are. This is me without a beer with me.
Oh, I haven't had a beer in a while because
Mhm.
sick.
Mm.
I haven't had a
Mm.
beer because I don't think I like beer.
There's a lot of different kinds of beer.
I like ales. Ales are 10 out of 10.
Ales?
A good ale.
Yeah, I guess an ale's technically not a beer, but usually people consider them synonymous. Ales are good. I like it.
Or a mead. Oh, did I say ale? Is ale mead? I like
No,
mead.
those are very
Mead is
different.
good.
Yeah, mead's not ale.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I usually like the wheat beers. I don't know what those are like technically called, or if they're just called wheat beer. I like those.
Oh.
Those are yummy.
I think the only thing I know about beer is that like IPAs are bitter.
Bitter, yes.
That's
So
all.
there's
That's all I
this
got.
one that I mean, I didn't find it technically. I had one at my mother's ex-boyfriend's house a while back, and it was like a Kentucky bourbon vanilla or Kentucky bourbon barrel
Bourbon
vanilla
barrel
or
ale.
something like that.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good shit.
It was so good.
That's really
and
good,
it's
yeah.
still to
Oh.
this day, it's my favorite. It's like
Mm.
the one kind of beer that I can literally just chug from like start to finish very fast, which is not necessarily a good thing. Which is why I generally just have one.
So, like, you get your Budweiser or your Coors or whatever, and those are like 2%, 3% ABV, right? And people have to like mainline those natty lights to get drunk, but like Kentucky bourbon barrels, 12% ABV. You drink that
dang.
with even any velocity, and you are gone.
Well,
10
so
minutes
there's
stops.
there might be different ones because the one that I have is like it's the one that I tend to drink is not like it's not very strong.
Oh.
It's like a very mild flavored. It just has like a vanilla underlying like vanilla notes. Is that how they usually say it?
Yeah.
It's so good, but it's not like a extremely potent beer.
Ah, dang. I thought I liked one beer. I thought it was called a Swamp Frog. It was like a beer like in a little thing, and it turns out it's a cider. It's not even a beer.
Oh.
I was bamboozled.
Those are good too.
It's okay to not like
It was
beer.
really good.
I mean, I like
That's,
beer, but
I think I've given up on my beer journey. I mean, I like some of them are okay, and like if sometimes I have a slight taste for like if I'm eating like a pizza or something, I'm like maybe a beer would go with a pizza or something, but most of the time probably not. Probably a cider.
I go through like little phases where I'm just like, yeah, I want this, and I want it again the next day, and then I want it again
And
a couple
and
days
again,
later,
yeah.
and then I'm just like, and I'm done for
Yep.
months.
I used to do. I still don't. I think this is still cider, not beer. But I used to do the Angry Orchards. But I think somebody told
Those
me
are
that
good.
they're no good anymore. That
Oh,
the
really?
that the people aren't good.
Oh,
I'll
those are
have to
like
look it up.
I can like do less than one of those before. Like anything that's like overly like sweetened and stuff, I have a really hard time with. I
Yeah,
can't do like any of the ciders and stuff like that. Like or like the hard lemonades or any of those things. I can do like a half of
they're
before I
so
start
sweet.
getting wicked heartburn.
Yeah. I've also learned, I don't know like what the differentiation is, and I've talked about it like a couple of times, but I've learned that like red wine does not pass the vibe check, does not pass go, makes me insanely sick.
Oh, really?
Like
That might be like, isn't there like
ridiculously sick.
there's like a something in red wines like a sulfur of some kind that like is pretty common for people to have sensitivities to.
Oh?
A friend of ours used to not be able to drink like any wine because of something in like the fermentation process that like
Wine will mess me up. Like what? Not even. I think wine is like I feel like I'll get less sick on a like hard lemonade. I'll get sick on a wine before a hard lemonade.
yeah. So that might be
Oh,
like
God.
even like not necessarily an allergy, but like a some type of intolerance or allergy to that because I think that's how our friend used to describe it as like not like a life threatening type allergy, but like an allergy that like made her sick from drinking wine and certain kinds of beers.
I think the last time I had wine, I got this. I like this little story because it ends with one of Dad's favorite things. But I got like super sick because we had drank a shit ton of wine. We used to get these like Bright Cellars boxes because me and wife had like a period. We were like, we're gonna be wine people and we're gonna drink wine like an adult. And we did like a subscription thing for
Oh, I
wine. And we
remember
got a bunch of wine. And I got really sick. And that same day that I got sick, all of our Hot One sauces came in. So very sick Quinn was just trying insanely hot sauces during intense wine hangovers.
No. Don't know.
But we didn't know why I was sick because I didn't even have that much. Like I was just like, oh, it's probably just like a slight little thing. And then like I remember being in bed just trying hot sauces and I was like, I think it's making it better. It's probably just the pain from the hot sauce zooping my brain to be like hot sauce pain instead of stomach times.
Yeah.
That's the last time. That's the last time I've ever had wine. Well, no. Yeah. Probably. But that's it. That's my wine journey.
Yeah, that's fair. That could totally be what it is.
I feel like a mold cider or like wines like that, I can get away with sometimes. If we do like the little thing that I can get away with.
Yeah.
You can
But
mull
not,
beer
like,
and
from the
ale
bottle.
too.
Oh, maybe I'll try to mull beer. Ooh,
It's tricky
beer
nowadays
dirty.
because like you got to find a beer to do it with,
Mm-hmm.
because like it won't work with every beer. But it used to be that's how everyone had it. By used to be, I mean the
Oh.
13 and 1400s, but they would like 1200s, but they would like bring it up to a simmer essentially and like spice it. And they did that because one, back then, the alcohol content wasn't as strong. It was strong enough to kill the shit in it, but not so strong that if you had some throughout your day, you were going to be completely shit faced. You could still like work and stuff. But also like, you know, it didn't taste that good because it was old. And so they fixed that by throwing a lot of spices into it. And so we can do the same thing now. I can't remember. Unfortunately, I can't remember the beers I used to do it with, but I would like legitimately in winter, I'd pour it in a pot and bring it up to a simmer and throw like cinnamon in it and nutmeg and then drink that. That was really nice.
That
I don't know
sounds
if I could
cozy.
do warm beer. I
Go,
suppose if it had like all that stuff in it, maybe, but like,
well, it's not warm. It's hot. You're sipping it like a hot cocoa or like a tea.
yeah, but even that, like, so, I don't know. I think my brain does weird things when
Tastes
it's like
spicy.
it knows that this is a thing that's supposed to be cold and it's hot. Like it's just like
Yeah, I mean, we all grew up with it cold, I guess, but like that's not what it was. Like the whole reason we started fermenting stuff is so that it wouldn't go bad when we didn't have refrigeration. Right. And so
Makes
like
sense.
cold beer is a thing that we have because we have refrigerators. That's not a thing that they had.
Oh, that's true.
It was always like room temperature. Everything was.
No, that's totally fair. But for me, in my experience, like this is a thing that's supposed to be cold and it's not, and my brain is like, this is not right.
Sure. Yeah.
For whatever reason, wine isn't as bad, like because a lot of times wine does come room temperature, so when that's mold and it's hot, like it's not doesn't do the same thing. But yeah, for like I don't know, it would be like drinking a hot soda. Like I don't think I could do that either.
Well, I mean, a hot soda would probably be nasty, but like, like if something is cold, like it's dead, the cold literally deadens down certain things in it and you can't taste them anymore. And the heat will bring out different stuff that you otherwise wouldn't taste. And so that's why you have to be like, I mean, I have, when I was experimenting, there were definitely a few beers I tried to bring up to a simmer and mull or not, and they just tasted like absolute trash. I mean, Sam Adams, also a trash company led by a trash human, but it turns out mulling his beer, even worse than when it's not mulled. It's absolutely fucking vile. Like it's just like whatever's in it does not taste good hot. But Golden Drock, which is a fantastic beer already, and also a cool name, and it has a giant dragon on
That's
the bottle.
a dope name.
Golden
Oh,
Drock
I'm
is really,
sold.
it's really awesome. Anyway, it's also very strong, by the way. It's very sweet. Not very sweet. It has a sweet. It has for a beer. It's pretty sweet. It has like a very fruity forward, and it's nice. But it also you can heat it up and you don't have to add spice to it, and it tastes pretty good, like piping hot too. So
Yeah.
that's also, that was a risky one too because it's expensive beer. It's like it's not like it's not a Sam Adams. It's like 3 times the cost of a Sam Adams 6-pack for a 4-pack.
I went on a little brain journey just now. I promise I am not drunk or high.
What?
And I need everyone to know this because the statement I'm about to say needs that.
Oh my god,
that
what's happening?
I was like, what else do we drink that's like you were talking about hot and cold? Like we have beer cold now and we didn't have beer cold. We had beer hot. I was like, well, what drinks that like would I not think is fresh? Is like my brain like wouldn't let me drink the beer hot because like brain, right? And I was like, what other drinks do we drink hot that would be cold that I would like or hot to cold? And I literally just sat here and thought, because you said hot cocoa, I was like, oh, cold hot cocoa. And then in my brain thought chocolate milk and my world like shattered because hot cocoa is just cold, it's just chocolate milk. That's why I premised with I'm not high or drunk.
But I also
Because I
feel like
know-
there is like a distinctly different like kind of flavor to hot cocoa because I know that they'll do like
yeah, that's
frozen
fair.
hot
if
chocolate
it's
and
hotter,
stuff,
yeah. If it's
but it's
cold,
not the same as like no, like even just without it, like if you were to take a cup of hot cocoa and then like let it cool and then put it in the fridge, it would still taste different, I feel like, than just like regular chocolate milk. But I guess it also depends on what it is you're mixing it with, because if you're using the same mix, obviously.
Oh.
But like I guess I tend to associate chocolate milk like the Hershey's squeeze bottle stuff, which is very different than like a packet of hot cocoa.
That's fair.
I feel like.
I was thinking like the already pre-made like things that because I get like a lot of oat milk
Oh, you get it in the
chocolate
store.
yeah.
vibes.
It's not like your Nestle Quick with a spoonful of shit you mix in just like a hot cocoa, right? I mean, it is. It's. I mean, They're different, just like different hot cocos are different from each other. Like it's all chocolate flavored milk. Like it is. They're all in the ballpark together. I think I get what you're saying.
Hot cocoa is a little thicker too.
And and again, it depends on how you make it too, because like I think like there's a lot of people who will literally make it by like melting down chocolate and then adding milk to it instead of like a powder mix and stuff.
It's way easier to get a powder mix like into the milk, like more distributed. Like getting the melted chocolate in is a pain in the ass. Get it mixed up.
Do you make your hot chocolate by putting the powder and then the milk, or do you put the milk and then the powder?
I bring the milk up to simmer and then I put it in.
Oh, I'm a heathen. I put powder in the thing and then I add hot water.
Oh, you should use milk instead of hot water. It's like, wait.
I don't. I usually add like
I drink hot
splash
chocolate
of
with
milk.
water too most of the time. I'll do it with milk sometimes,
Too much
like a
dairy
treat
for me. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, poor
But
dairy.
even before, like I don't know, that was just it was much easier to just like put a kettle on the stove and use that instead of like having to like bring milk to a simmer and like not burn it and do all those things.
Yep.
But that's just kind of how I roll with stuff. I'm like, what is the easiest way? Is it probably going to be like not as good? Yeah, probably, but that's fine.
I didn't know for the longest time, for a significant portion of like my younger existence, I didn't know that people used milk for hot chocolate because we just used water.
Yeah, same.
Like I didn't
grew
start
up
doing that
way,
until
yeah.
I was like in college.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. I didn't know.
You're having chocolate flavored water.
Yeah.
That's just basically by a yoo-hoo, I guess. That's good. That's fine. But
I've never had
I
a
mean, that's
yoo-hoo
how my
either.
kids do it too now, because that's how I've always done it. It's hot water.
Yeah, we all have
put like a
different.
splash of milk or like half and half.
Oh,
or
that's
something in
fair.
there at the
If
end,
you get a
but,
hot
like,
cocoa at a restaurant, it's milk. Like, that's what they're making for you.
That's fine. I just don't do it that way.
All milk. Yeah, it's like a
No.
poor apparition's losing his mind.
I can't do all milk. First of all, I don't. It's too much milk.
Just get a lactate in there. What are you doing? Is this good? That's what hot
Crush the
cocoa
lactate
is.
up and
We
put
don't
it
even buy
in
milk. We don't
fair.
do milk in this house.
Oat milk has changed the game. I think because whenever I realized I was lactose intolerant, I started using oat milk for things, and I made hot chocolate with oat milk, and I was like, what? This doesn't hurt my stomach. Hot chocolate doesn't hurt my stomach, actually.
Yeah,
If I
we
use the
could try it
proper
with oat milk.
thing.
I love oat milk so much.
Oh, oat milk's the best. Oat milk is like I from almond milk, coconut milk sometimes, depending on like what you're using, and it can be better. But I feel like I just go oat milk like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Most
We
occasions.
did almond milk because that's what was out at the time when we stopped drinking milk. And so my kids are very used to it and that's their preference. But when oat milk started like becoming more popular, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this. And I was like, oh my God, this is so much better. It's like there's so much less of an aftertaste. And it's exclusively what I use now. But my kids are like, nope, we don't like change. Like almond milk it is. So we have to get both.
Oh, I feel that. It took me a while to switch over from coconut to oat milk.
Oh, it was so good though. Like we get the I can't think of the brand, but it like literally on the packaging, I think it's Planet Oat.
Sure.
Planet Oat?
Mhm.
Or
I think so.
Oatly. I can't remember. Oatly, one of those two. But the
Oatly
package
is usually
blue,
creamer, I think.
and it like actually says on the packaging like wow,
Oh
no
yeah,
cow,
it's Oatly.
because it's that good. Like it
Mhm.
just it's like
Oh.
I don't know.
Sure, loss. But if like, I mean, I guess it depends. If you get like Swiss Miss, they literally have the dehydrated milk in the packet.
Oh.
And so if you're adding it to water, you're still
Oh.
getting milk. You're just tricking yourself. And so that's fine.
Oh.
But also if you
maybe
get
that's
like
better.
Penzies or something, that's just cocoa powder. And that's you gotta put like if you get yourself like Dutch processed cocoa powder,
That makes
you need to put that in
sense.
milk. It's
Okay.
not gonna add the dairy
Oh,
part for
we've
you.
always done
That
the,
makes so much more
like
sense,
the Swiss
Lost.
Miss. Like that's generally
Yeah.
what we get.
Yeah, I forgot all about that loss. Thank you. I haven't got Swiss Miss in so fucking long. Even still, I think last time I had it, I put it in milk and it was amazingly delicious. So like, I mean, just get those lipids, man. The fats in milk, they really sell it. Doctors around here too are really big on like it's still a thing. Like I mean, these are all the doctors that are like up on the like Boston Children's and stuff. They're like, your kids should be having, if they can, if they don't have an allergy, they should be having milk once to twice a day because it's a very easy way to get kids to get enough protein and fats in their diet when all they want to eat is carbs. Like kids will eat, especially if they're neurodivergent, they just want the Cheerios fucking constantly. Like, okay, well, how do we get them to get the other nutrients they need? flavored vitamins. Those help, and also milk. Get it in there. So that's like very common here. So I started buying whole milk for them, and it turns out I really like it. It's also it's nice for like I use it to make plakfiskir, which is essentially a chowder with whitefish. It's Icelandic, and that's really great. And clam chowder, of course, is a milk thing. So like milk's very common.
We do that stuff like once in a My kids aren't like, they're not really that terrible about it. She loves peanut butter and jelly, so she gets.
Ooh.
And I like when she wants that, I put so much peanut butter on it too, because I'm just like, have all the fats and all the protein that your little brain needs.
Peanut butter is the bodybuilder's best friend. It's good stuff.
And my son loves meat, so loves meat. It's a big thing.
I think I've said it before. I don't think I did peanut butter and jellies until I was in college.
Oh,
I
really?
only would eat peanut butter and only would eat jelly. And if they would mix, I would have a time. And then one day I got an Uncrustable. I was bamboozled. My wife gave me an Uncrustable and it was peanut butter and jelly and it was delicious. And I was like, what have I been missing my whole life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whole milk's pretty common in my house.
It's such a staple, like because we always had a peanut butter and jelly option at like lunches too. Like if you did not want like whatever the main thing was, and like as a kid, I got a lot of peanut butter and jelly just because like I don't know, I often did not like whatever the main thing was, and then the other option was like a really gross like microwavable hamburger or hot dog or something.
Oh my God,
and I was like, I'll take the PBJ.
Yeah.
Oof. Yo, put that peanut butter onto the burger.
Oh, it's so good on a burger. I will stand for peanut butter and jelly on a burger.
I mean,
I like it now.
Thaddeus Omega would burn the house down if I tried that on him, but like you can't mix things. No.
Oh, it's so good though. It's so good. Oh, lost heck yeah. Jam or jelly? There is a difference in jam and jelly.
I don't want anyone launching into some like religious war in my chat about what jam versus jelly versus preserves or whatever are like. Just it's all goo.
Preserves.
It's goo.
It is goo.
There are culinary differences, and the fucking chefs can't agree, and so let them fight it out. When they come to us with a thing,
that's fair.
That's it.
For me, I just know there's a texture-ish difference, and
that's why I asked.
Jelly is goopy. Jam is like solid, I think, in my experience, but I don't know how common that is. I've also had jams that are thicker but still goopy, right? And preserves, I've had all three ways. Are they all preserves? Technically not, I guess. That's why I don't know.
Aww,
like for
you
instance,
give the birds grape jelly. Aww.
Oh, how about that?
That's cool. What were you saying, Deb?
Oh, I don't know. Just mostly trying to avoid the religious war. Hashtag nothing's a vegetable.
There was a religious war on the difference between jelly and jam.
I've never seen it happen here. I've seen it happen other places. I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm gonna. It's too late in the night to try to fight about it.
I did not know that. I learned something today.
Some people feel real strong about whether tomatoes are fruit or not. You know, like that kind of shit, right? It's like
just eat it.
People
just
wanting
like
to pronounce
you know what
GIF a certain way.
Food.
And they throw the gauntlet down over it. So
hey, it's gonna come as a shock, but we don't have to throw the gauntlet down.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. Can you imagine?
Pick your fights, my friends.
Or
pick your fights.
Or pick no fights. But just pick peace.
Or pick no fights.
Hugs, not hurt.
We don't need that. There's no fights happening here. A lot of people pick fights about small shit because they feel big about big shit that they can't pick a fight about. And so they have that energy. It's going to come out some way. And so, like, you know, fighting about the oppression of human rights is hard. The oppressors won't listen, and we can't get anywhere. And all that anger builds up. I think this is what happens. And then, like, you know, someone's like, they say GIF, and someone's like, it's pronounced GIF, motherfucker. And then they get really angry about it because it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? No one gives a fuck. It's just because the energy builds up. They have nowhere else to channel it. And so it comes out there because it's fight energy they can't put anywhere else. That's just my hypothesis. I have seen no research confirming that or denying it. So I don't know. I do know, however, that it's late. It's late.
What have we is it time for what did we learn today?
Yeah, I should actually set it up so I can do what did we learn on this channel. I can't on the screen yet. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do.
We learned a whole lot today.
What did we learn? Quinn, what did we learn?
We learned a lot. We learned that Fraggy is getting a fox. We are getting capes for a dope ass
Wait.
little montage moment. And birds like jam or jelly. I didn't know that one.
We learned some of those things. I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess everyone follow
tell me no,
Fraggy
it's
so you can see Fraggy's new fox. And follow Quinn. He's not going to have a fox, but Fraggy's going to have a fox. So if you want to see fox times.
Only one of us needs the fox.
Yeah, only one of us needs a fox. You want to go follow Fraggy to see the fox times. And now, let's find someone for you to spend the rest of your evening with. I don't know who that's going to be.
Oh my goodness.
Does one of you have someone?
I have Dobby's on. Darth Bobby.
Oh my God. Can you
I sure can.
type the name? Send the name somewhere.
I'm going as we speak. I'm gonna drop the link in case the raid also leaves people. Like me.
Can you actually
like me.
kick off
It's
the
been
raid?
leaving me.
I don't know if you can
At
do that
me.
or not.
Oh, it happens to me a lot.
Quinn, why don't you try that? Do /raid, see if it works for you. I don't know if it will.
Can I?
I think I
Can
don't know.
do
Give it a
that?
shot. Tell me if it does.
Let me go for it. Let me see here. I'm gonna copy paste the name. Can mods create raids?
Hell
No
yeah!
way.
Let's go!
Yeah.
All right,
Holy
everyone,
heck,
click
that's
that link.
dope.
Hop on in there. Skip the ads. And yeah, we're gonna go see friend Darth Bobby doing whatever they're doing over there. Oh, they're playing some Fall Guys.
yeah.
Let's go. Sick.
He,
All
they
right.
pronouns.
Fall Guys! Woo!
He they pronouns. We are back. Quinn and I are back
pronouns.
on Sunday.
Sunday.
And
Sunday,
Fraggy is
Sunday,
back
Sunday.
tomorrow. Fraggy.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night for
Right.
Fraggy. Follow. You'll see us. You get to hang out with us. It's really great. We love you. Okay, bye. Goodbye. 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 Farewell. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
No raid message. Just say, Darth Bobby, we're happy to see you. That's the raid message. Just say, Darth Bobby, we're happy to see you. Or whatever variant of that. Just say you're happy to see him. All right. Good night, everybody. I just realized that because Quinn kicked off the raid, I can't click go
I
now.
have to go. Oh,
Yeah, you
y'all
have to
ready?
click go.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.